welcome back to 13 Cards Subject to Change after 2 weeks off. The show that is thinking about sacrificing Leroy to some god to stop Canada from burning. I don't know anymore. Good God almighty.
They don't care anymore.
Holy smokes.
Wait a minute. Let's not sacrifice me.
We have, according to Canada, the rules are we have to sacrifice a president, and if we can't get to the mango, you're the closest thing we got.
You know what?
I have somebody else in mind. I'm not going to mention her name, but I'd rather sacrifice her first.
Okay.
Okay. No, that's right.
I don't have to say anything else.
If you're willing to give another offering to the gods of poutine, I don't care. But we got to sacrifice somebody. If I got to paint him up in maple syrup, Happy Gilmore 2 style, I'll do it. But son of a gun, this is crazy.
I don't think it's quite delicious.
I don't think she's very willing for the sacrifice, but I will save a lot of us.
As long as I can take a big, deep breath and not cough, I'll be happy. I don't care who we sacrifice.
I totally agree with that.
God damn. All right. All right. So we missed a lot. A lot has happened. We're going to have a big house cleaning section where people can yell at Jesse or Jesse can yell at them. It'll probably be Jesse yelling at them. But first and
last
foremost,
week, I was ready to yell at Triple H.
Well, that's fair. But
not one night, not 2 nights, but 3 nights.
Let me be very clear. You may, Leroy, before we get to the opening topic, we need to have this little intervention with you. You need to give up on this "you're going to do things the way you like" thing. Let me be very clear. Your church does things because the NFL decides not to. Your church does things because of it. Leroy, at some point, if they can put 50,000 people in anything 3 nights in a row, they're going to fucking do it. It doesn't matter if you don't like it. And that's your intervention. You go to church and you get out right before noon because the NFL's like, right now that's profitable. If it stops being profitable, $17 billion over the course of 4 months, you lose, sir. Okay. Good day.
We get up by noon because my pastors only can keep all of our attentions for a certain period of time.
I understand that, but here's the deal.
That's normal.
Well, but here's the deal.
You guys also start at 6 in the morning, don't you?
You didn't give a response, Jesse.
Why do we start at 6 in the morning?
Leroy. No. Leroy.
Church? No.
Leroy.
11 o'clock.
Leroy, you didn't give an explanation for when he holds your attention. You gave an explanation for how long he holds your attention. The NFL is still winning in this argument. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know.
All right,
I know.
But to get to the first couple of things here, we are going to get to some stuff that is obvious based on the history of this show, because we're not going to walk back anything we've ever said because we don't feel the need to. Jesse also gets an award on the show today for the funniest fucking thing I saw in all goddamn week. But first and foremost, a husband, a father, a son, a human being passed away. WWE Hall of Famer Ozzy Osbourne passed away, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and I think that is worth mentioning and is a very important thing. Jesse, this is a guy, oh my God, what he's meant to your life, my life, everyone's life. Jesse, I don't think...
Am I chopped liver?
I'm getting to you.
He meant to me, too.
I'm getting to you. Do you not want something special?
No, Ozzy meant...
I told you to give me 30 minutes. Just follow me for 30 minutes down the path, and I'll make this work. Jesse, you and I obviously both music careers, been in the scene, been up and down the roads with bands and stuff like that. So, I mean, for that, Jesse, you and I both acknowledge we don't get those experiences which we hold so dear if not for what him, Bill, Tony, and Geezer did in the 70s.
He was so instrumental in so many rock and roll careers for sure, because it's just nothing sounded like Black Sabbath back in those days.
No,
and well, not quite yet.
Hold on.
And so,
yeah, sorry. Technology sucks sometimes.
It happens.
Yep.
So, and we all heard he wasn't in great health for a little bit here.
Jesse, I told everyone.
But that show, man,
during the
you
song,
could almost tell he was almost ready to go, Jesse, and then at the end of it, he was ready to go.
Jesse, it was the moment. One of the most famous lines in my life. Mm-hmm. It hurts so bad. It's been so long. I think that was the final breath he had. I'm amazed. I think adrenaline got him through the Sabbath set, but I think Mama, I'm Coming Home It's Been So Long, which was probably the only moment that I felt I heard the true Ozzy voice throughout that whole two sets he did, solo and then Sabbath. I think that's where it ended.
Yeah.
I think that's where Ozzy didn't give up, but that was all he had left. Was that moment, that note, that line. Because he wanted to stand up like he did with Post Malone that one time. Because remember, Post said shortly after Ozzy's passing, he said he wasn't supposed to stand up. That was never the plan.
Right.
And then when he did, that was a genuine reaction from me because here is an idol, an icon standing in front of me. But it's just that. All right, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Sabbath or Ozzy solo? What was more of a influence? Wow. Because I feel like you can't have one without the other. But I feel like Ozzy wasn't as dark when he was solo, but he had some of the most creative music.
Like I tell people, for me as a musician, my trinity with the Beatles being above them will always be, because my goodness, did the Beatles do everything?
Well,
the Beatles don't exist. Most of what we have in music doesn't exist.
Like I told people,
that is true.
I'm like, I know the joke is the Simpsons did it, but in music, it's the Beatles probably did it. It's Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
It's Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
And then it's Black Sabbath. It's just their influence, and of course, when I think of Janis, I think of that whole Woodstock age.
Yeah.
So you're talking Jimmy, you're talking like all of them.
Well, and by the way, that's not a shot at the boys in Judas Priest, but
No.
But Sabbath launched so many bands.
Sabbath was even a little bit of an inspiration to them because nothing sounded like Sabbath.
Right.
Nothing.
Now,
nothing sounded like Sabbath.
I agree with you there.
Now, Leroy, this is where we'll get into you, and I had this whole thing planned out. It's interesting, Jesse, because you listen to Gene Simmons, who said, "To thy own self be true." There was no one like Ozzy Osbourne.
No.
Okay, maybe the roundish glasses, you could say Lennon, because he wanted to be a Beatle.
Right.
But other than that, Leroy, you've been around since the dawn of literally light itself.
Yes.
Can you compare Ozzy to anyone, or is it everyone came off of that tree?
No,
everything about him was himself.
Yeah,
there's no influence from anything.
Whatever he might have been influenced by what the Beatles did or what some people did.
But that's more professionally. I'm just talking about
professionally, but
the person.
For a person, how he was, no.
And by the way, for you side people out there who are posting your comments because you need to get your pound of flesh in 2025, yes, he had an incident with the law with Sharon in like 1989.
Whatever.
Sharon forgave him. He went to rehab, and clearly those two worked out just fine the rest of their lives.
Clearly.
So you know what? It's none of your freaking business. And at the end of the day, I also want to give a shout out to the kids and Sharon as well, because Jesse, it wasn't even a full week, and she was at the procession. Like that took a lot.
Yeah.
When she married him, her life became Ozzy.
Oh God, yes.
Her life became
I think
Ozzy.
Because probably for them, especially her.
Yeah.
I think she always probably felt like, I finally completely have him now that he's
right.
And I'll get to that. Because it was only like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it was just over a week from the last show.
By the way, him and Lemmy just doing legendary shit, huh?
And can I also point something out to those other big guys? Ozzy never hated Ronnie James Dio.
No!
He resented him, which are two separate things.
They had a rock and roll rivalry. Hell, even before Dio passed, they had conversations.
Well, not to mention the fact, Jesse, I think what's also worth mentioning, because I'm now looking at something that I believe is a huge inspiration to you.
Yeah.
Jesse, Ozzy needed, and again, he never wanted to, but he needed to leave Black Sabbath and hook up with Randy Rhoads to create what he did. And yes, Randy's death was 100% preventable. We get all that, yada yada. But I look at people like Kurt Cobain, Randy. I look at people like Janis, who you brought up,
right.
Jimi Hendrix specifically, and of course our man Wyndham right in front of me here. Jesse, there are people that are just meant to not go on. But what's strange to me is I feel like Ozzy was the difference. Ozzy was meant to almost live a full life and still be an inspiration to people.
The Prince of Darkness, man.
He's a little out of focus. Adjust the camera.
I got you. But yeah, the absolute Prince of Darkness right
all
there.
I have to say about this, I mean, God has a weird way of doing things. And I'll get spiritual on you because,
no, it's fine.
That's who I am. But
Ozzy said he didn't believe in necessarily church, but he believed in a higher power.
Yeah, I mean, and that higher power gave him the strength to do this last thing. And it was he wanted to say thank you to all of us
and I think
for what he did. So he gave him the strength to do it.
I've been afraid to say this, but I think it's worth saying, Leroy, not to cut you off there, but this is not a shot at Sharon or the kids, and including the kids that were out of the spotlight who never wanted it type of thing. But, Jesse, I don't think it's unfair to say the music is what he lived for.
Right.
And I don't think that's mean. I think Sharon understands that.
Well, no, he loved his kids, there's no doubt. But
oh yeah,
his love of what he did, the music, was, like I said, it was inspiring for all of us as musicians.
I always say there are moments in life when you look at it and say, okay, there's really nothing left. And that sucks because recently in wrestling, it was Warrior. Because the night before he was on Raw, which I believe was the coming full circle, life fulfilled moment, it sucks because you see these two beautiful kids.
Right.
Who he even said weren't even alive in the world when their father had done this. And politicalness aside, personal feelings aside, Jesse, these two kids were not even, teenagers. And it sucks, but the belief that life has an ending and it's planned, I believe that fully when you look at the moments that have happened. Ozzy, I think, was around long enough to say goodbye privately to the people he needed to,
right.
But he was around really physically long enough to say goodbye to the people that he truly loved and appreciated, and that was all the people that gave him the life that he did. And what's so crazy to me is because they did the podcast, because there was the reality show, the real reality show, not the crap you got these days, because you couldn't script Ozzy Osbourne back in those days, man. It just wasn't happening.
So the show that has recently taken a major uptick on platforms, including this one, is the Osbournes.
Right. But it's so funny to me because he's passed. It's been almost a week. They buried him. They had the funeral. But there's so many clips of not just music, but interviews and him talking that it's like, it's almost like he can't be gone. It's almost like there's so much to read and listen to that, like, you're like, I have to go through 8 years of just sitting down, doing nothing and listening to this man speak before I can even attempt to believe he's gone.
Yeah. I said, He gave us the opportunity. God gave us the opportunity for us to say goodbye to him, and we didn't know we were.
Jesse, just a quick note now. I'm reminding you now, when they announced that movie, opening night, we're going.
But
opening night, we're going to go see Back to the Beginning live in theaters.
Yeah, but it's great happen. With technology nowadays. It annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah.
But being able to go back and enjoy everything that he did is great, and that's something that I know
I saw
sitting up there watching us.
I saw someone put something on TikTok, and while I understand the sentiment, I need to tell them they're wrong, and I don't want to say that they're wrong in grieving. But basically, the comment was, "We are the last generation to really truly hear and see Ozzy." And my comment was, "If you believe that, you failed Ozzy already."
Yeah, I agree.
Because
I guess one of the last.
If you would have said it correct, we were the last generation to see him live in person, but we can share with our children.
And the reason why I bring this up
his music
is Jesse. He was the theme for I believe it was a Judgment Day back in 07, which, by the way, folks, that's one of my all-time favorite Ozzy songs. But that Black Rain record was so late in his career, no one really was paying attention to his music the way they were with like Bark at the Moon or Diary of a Madman, all those kinds of things.
He was commissioner. He hosted Monday Night. Also for a few of the NXT.
Jesse, I'm going to speak to this because, and I mean this in the bottom of my heart, and I know it's why you loved the man in front of you so much was because of this word, and it is you unequivocally. Jesse, what wrestling has become, and this will get into the next topic I have following this, and we'll move on. The word authenticity has not just trickled into the world of wrestling, it's become the only thing in wrestling. It seems to be the only thing that fans truly appreciate. Now, you can be authentic with a character,
right?
But you have to make them understand that you believe in what you're doing.
Right.
And you know, it's like I want you to speak to this because Ozzy was authentic on wrestling television. You couldn't script anything Ozzy did.
Right.
I feel like he was the ultimate, even in the Vince era. We're going to put him out there and Sharon's going to promise us, I use air quotes, that he's going to behave, but we really don't know what it's going to be.
Right.
But I mean, the word authenticity is now so ingrained in the business of wrestling, which was weird for a lot of years because it wasn't supposed to be authentic. But as we're learning now, and we'll get to another topic after my second topic about this word, and that's the new WWE Netflix series. We'll get to that here in a little bit. But it's just, Jesse, I feel like we're losing one of the most authentic, and I mean this, people of recorded human history.
No, Ozzy was Ozzy. He wasn't a character, you know. He was a character.
Well, yeah.
But like he was Ozzy, man. Like and that's the one thing you kept hearing from those who get the chance to get close to him over the years was Ozzy, brother. You know, one of the best videos of people had been resharing it since his passing was he got to finally meet a Beatle. He got to finally meet Paul McCartney.
Yeah, Paul.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Paul, to lighten the mood, kind of teased him a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Because, you know, he always said, like...
Ozzy was like 50-something in that video.
But, Paul had always said, like...
And Ozzy
Ozzy
turned into a 12-year-old.
Because, right, and Ozzy was... Yeah. Paul was just like, if I inspired this... then we did some good in the world.
It's well, but it's crazy. You're being interviewed by one of the best, if not the best, radio personality that's ever existed. Right. You can't cancel Howard truly because somebody will pick him up.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, Jesse, to go from that to go to a hallway and to meet an idol when you yourself are an idol to so many.
And he's throwing a little jab at him because you got into a little trouble about a bus or something.
Yeah.
And of course, Ozzy was Ozzy. He's like, I love you, but fuck off. Like, it was classic Ozzy. It was Ozzy being Ozzy.
Yeah.
But, in the end, they hugged, and Paul had talked about the moment again after his passing, and he went, listen, I had always been so proud of hearing that he was one of our fans because God rest John Lennon's soul, but, most of us were fans of him.
Right.
And the fact that, like he said, if we help to inspire this, then boy, we actually accomplished a lot of good in the world.
And Jesse, look forward there, not the top the tater. We're in the Midwest, everyone's got it, but like at the Funko Pop, you can't tell me that guy didn't get inspired by the fact that because he believed in authenticity, he believed in being creative and being yourself. And he always went out there and he was that. But then he also, Jesse, because the videos are out there, he would pull back. Wyndham was Wyndham when he met the fans, when he met the people.
Wyndham was one of the most genuinely beautiful people on the planet. And I mean that inside, like just soul was pure.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. and we might as well get into the other one while we're talking about Wyndham. It is genuinely. Listen, and I know some people thought maybe I would come treat this with non-irreverence, non-respect. Let's get this out the way.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, and I've always said it, Hulk Hogan is the most important pro wrestler of all time.
Guys,
Yes.
this has been said by people we know personally, people we've interviewed, it's everyone, and I think Bully Ray summed it up. Nobody in the fucking business right now. We've earned, we'll say, maybe a couple grand doing this.
Yeah.
Okay? We'll say that to be safe.
Yeah.
People have earned millions. Vince McMahon became a billionaire. Jesse, no one has it without Hulk Hogan.
I'm going to say something you probably did not realize I would say today. There is no any of this.
Oh, God, no.
Without Hulk Hogan. There is no, you were just at an indie show.
Yes.
None of them are around without Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling actually truly, and I meant this when I said it, we lost a pillar. Regardless of how I might feel about what he became, the man, and maybe some of his dealings.
Well, we'll just get it out of the way. You posted the single funniest thing I ever fucking saw in my life.
Yes.
You said goodbye to Hulk Hogan and said, in remembrance, please donate to the...
By the way, and here was the thing, because
United Negroes College
a lot
Fund.
of people understood, like, I genuinely mean rest in peace to Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I understood what you meant.
But we should also donate to something he cared very deeply about, and that's black people getting educated. So I figured we hit two birds with one stone. And by the way, we will put that link in this live today.
It's a very important thing.
Yes.
To do.
So now.
But absolutely, and here's the thing about Terry Bollea, because it's like I tell people, it will always be, to me, a little tasteless to speak ill of the dead.
Yes.
Unless it's Donald Trump in the future. But
I don't think anyone cares in that scenario.
No, I don't think anybody
cares. But otherwise, and you know, even when people speak about Adolf Hitler nowadays, it's always, the man was despicable, but he was kind of smart.
Yeah.
But he was a coward.
Yeah.
But he was kind of you just... You just think, you know, and so when I think of Hulk Hogan,
it was the strangest thing. Okay, I hit up Corey, our boy Corey.
Yeah.
I felt nothing, and I don't want people to think I moved on about my day. I felt weird for 3 days.
Yeah,
it was a strange thing. But Jesse and Leroy, I'll ask you this too, because sadly we have another soon to be passing, because Father Time can't lose. It's impossiable. That might be the same thing.
I just want to say this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I know Leroy's probably like, wow, really, Jesse felt this way.
I think he believed in you more than you think.
I know you well enough for what he said as a person, as Terry Bollea. Yes,
for me, I think
not
for
the
me,
best thing.
I think
but
for me, it felt weird. And somebody said it best. Because I was sad, but I was angry.
Right.
Because, of course, my dad let me, brought me into this world when he was working as a cop in New York City in Madison Square Garden.
Was that extra money, or were they put on?
They were always contracted.
Okay, yeah.
But it was one, because my dad actually contacted me after Hulk Hogan died.
Okay.
And like I told my dad, I'm like, I think a part of me has always. It's a weird thing, because we never got the chance, and Jimmy talked about what happened in LA earlier this year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's a damn shame we just never got the chance to have it come back full circle.
Well, my question to you is, and Leroy, I'll ask you this too, what I was alluding to about the future passing. Corey brought this up, and I think he hit the nail on the head. Because Rick is really becoming this a little too much. Well, is it they became the persona instead of a situation where you've chronicled on the show 1,000 times, Jesse? Forget the election cycle. Forget who was on the podcast. Everyone still says protect Mark Calloway.
Well, right.
Because Mark is now Mark. He's left The Undertaker behind.
Right.
He has to portray it now and again for him, it's to always raise the elevation of everybody else. Jesse, the TNT A championship was in the ring with The Undertaker. What the hell else do I need to say? Internet be damned. Well, what else do I need to say? What happened?
By the way, what a cool moment for TNA.
But I mean, Jesse, did Terry become Hulk a little too much?
So here's my thoughts overall, and this is the realest thing. And somebody tried to put this in the best words to Eric, because Eric Bischoff. He had a very emotional 83 weeks, and I understand why. But
oh yes.
Somebody said to him, because he was still kind of defiant against those who, had their negative feelings. And the dude wrote in, like, listen, Eric, I'm a black man who likes your show. Love your show. I've met you at quite a few events and things like that. And I've met Hulk Hogan. I met him at his store in Florida. And he was like, I want you to understand, when he said those words, the way he said them, and of course we all know, unfortunately, now that even his daughter was like, I'm going to miss my father, but I want nothing to do with his estate. Yeah. Which is one of the saddest parts of all this, really.
Yeah, I mean,
he was explaining to Eric, he was like, for a lot of us, it was just heartbreaking. Like, damn, is that how he feels about us? Like, because he inspired us, Right. And so it was, and it made Eric cry, because I think Eric kind of realized, like, for some of it, it's not like the AEW fans who just, it is what it is with some of those kind of people. But for like us black fans who did love him as children growing up, that was a shot to the heart a little bit.
Well, and what's really funny to me, and Leroy, maybe you can speak to this as well, because like I said, you've seen, and this is a serious note, not even a joke, you've seen so many of iconic historical pop culture people come up, go down, all that stuff. It's funny because we're talking about two different people involving wrestling, but one was Jesse was the exception to the rule of don't meet your heroes, and that was Ozzy. Yeah. I feel like anyone who ever met the guy, child, adult,
it was almost confirmation of what you believed.
It was confirmation that like who was on the Osbournes was the guy.
Like that's Ozzy. Ozzy is Ozzy.
But then I think the statement "never meet your heroes," that's the danger of social media. That's the danger of modern day. Because Jesse, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think anyone would be talking about Michael Jordan being the GOAT if they had social media back then. Because Jesse, the documentary that I have to reiterate to people,
boy, soured a lot of people on him.
It did.
Because you just genuinely went, what a dick. Like
you don't, Leroy, jump in here.
Yes.
To all the people out there who I know who are parents, don't tell me that you raise your kids to act like Michael Jordan did. I understand competitiveness. I understand needing to be the best at something. You don't raise your kids to be teammates like that.
No.
Maybe it worked in that locker room, but no one is taught to punch their teammate.
No, you're not.
Like,
no.
I think that's where the nothingness came in, was I was battling with the reason why I get to do this, the reason why I have made $1 in wrestling, which I am one of the few of this earth that can say that, and trust me, I walk around a little bit taller knowing that I've made $1 in this business. Like, that is a weird thing to be happy about, but I'm happy about it. But that is where the nothingness comes up, because at one moment you're like, well, we've chronicled on the show, fuck Terry Bollea. And Sheiky still believes it, but, that's Sheiky, and Sheiky has a lot more personal stuff than we do. But, Jesse, then you sit there and you realize, for the last, what are we now, Leroy, 6-7 years into this freaking thing?
6 years into this.
Yeah, 6 years into this. Guys, I am doing this because of two colors and a man who, regardless of the production of a Vincent Kennedy McMahon, was the guy who pulled it off. I don't think if you give Savage the Hogan gimmick, I don't think if you give anyone else the gimmick, it works. It was highly produced by another person, but Jesse, this is the thing that we always have to talk about. What's the number one killer? And this is why Ronnie Radke still gets fans. Jesse, you can put out a hell of a song, but if you can't do that shit live, it hurts your legacy.
Right, absolutely.
It kills your legacy.
I think with Hulk Hogan, and like I said, it's a damn shame we didn't get the chance to come full circle, right?
Do you think that there was going to be a moment?
It felt like he was actually trying, and yes, I actively gave him shit.
Yeah.
And it was shit he kind of put upon himself.
He earned it.
Because before 2014, you would have never heard me say a negative thing about Hulk Hogan. Besides that, Sean gave him what he deserved at that SummerSlam. That was it. Like you try to push over the former push, like the guy who used to do that shit on a scale. Like you got what you deserve. But when it comes to Hulk Hogan, it will, like I tell people, honestly, there will always be a part of sadness in me.
Yeah.
Because we should be celebrating him completely. It's hard to completely celebrate him.
He should have gotten the Ozzy treatment.
Right. It's hard to completely celebrate because there also really there was never an apology from him. He almost tried to brush it to the side a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's
this was a moment of badness, blah, blah, blah. And it's like between him and Eric Bischoff, it was like, guys, you guys don't understand how that affected people.
Right.
And clearly they didn't.
And you think
Eric kind of does now.
And you think that Eric got it in that moment
it
while on 83?
It feels like Eric, as what's his name, read that letter to him.
Yeah.
Got it.
You know, I think the best thing.
Remember, he was the one who took the black kids,
yeah,
who couldn't get into the show, and put him in the front.
Put him in the front row. Yeah,
yeah. But it's interesting to me. Well, actually, Eric technically hired people to get in front of those kids.
Right.
But I get what you're saying. But no, it's really sad because Jesse, I think the best modern. Oddly enough, this all happened in the 2 weeks we were gone. The biggest
in the 1 week.
1 week. Yeah.
The biggest take I have right now, Jesse, of no one can understand. So you've got Ozzy, full circle, realization. Hogan didn't get there. Maybe it was going to happen. But, okay, right now, what happened 3 days ago? Jesse, I don't think, because they're trying to sell the team, I don't think the poll ads understand what that trade deadline did to the fan base. I don't think they understand what they did. Because, Jesse, they've always been very disconnected from the fans. For some reason, after 2 World Series, they weren't inspired. Dude, the freaking Wilfs got to an NFC Championship game and all of a sudden became the best facility in all of football. They put money into the team.
It almost feels like with them, and we're going to see who buys the Twins, and whoever does, it will be smart to keep them in Minnesota because the Polacks have already done the work to keep them in Minnesota.
Yeah.
To their credit.
I think they're at least in that stadium for at least 20 more years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And plus, you're making easy money because that team is always in playoff contention until like August.
Exactly.
So,
and a nice place to see a game too.
I mean, listen, that stadium is beautiful. I still need to go to an actual game, but I still remember my uncle walking through me through it as they were finishing. I was like, "This is gorgeous."
Yeah.
So, they do relate to Hulk Hogan in this way.
Yeah.
I don't think, though I do think Hulk did appreciate his fans. I don't think they ever, because when you've been doing something for 45 years, it's just another day to you.
Yeah.
But it's hard to sometimes take a step back and go, oh, this is what this actually means. This is what this means.
Ozzy, to go back for just a second. Jesse, he understood what every meet and greet was. He understood what a 5-year-old meeting him meant because that kid was raised the first 2 years of their psychological
being, to his music,
probably listening to everything he ever wrote. But, the famous thing of this kid walking up, and this was probably 20, 30 years ago. That kid's probably in his 40s now. But it was like, I'll probably never get to see you again, but I just want to let you know you're my favorite musician. And Ozzy tells him, give me a hug. But it's like he knew the whole time what he was doing. Right. The famous line was, it wasn't a privilege for them to see me. It was a privilege for them to let me do what I did. And he believed that whether he was in Duluth or he was in Madison Square Garden. Ozzy didn't care.
Right.
But, I think that's the thing, Jesse. I think at some point, like you said, there's only one of two ways to go when you've done something for 50 years. It's either it's a privilege that I'm here, or, holy shit, you're still here 45 years later.
I think some people can become jaded. And really, and as we'll kind of get off, and we start to move on here.
Yeah.
I think really that's the sadness of it all. Because like I told people, so of course the same day, and maybe it was because Hulk Hogan died, Vince McMahon almost killed himself fucking driving too fast.
Although stories did come out after that a lot of people refused to drive with Vince because of the way he drove.
Which he's been doing for years.
Yeah.
But because he's one where, I got to be honest, thanks to some of the documentaries and stuff, what's gonna be sad.
Yeah,
it's just not gonna be a lot of like, oh well, poor Vince when he goes.
Yeah,
it's just not.
Yeah, no, there's not
because of the way he has portrayed himself for like 50, 60 years now.
Right. Yeah.
So to Hulk Hogan, when I say rest in peace, I really hope you find some peace in the next life.
And I think I also want to say this. We forget so many times, and actually, oddly enough, it was Tyson from the All-American Rejects who did this at Vans Warped Tour. Also, how the hell are they playing the side stage at Vans Warped Tour?
Vans just basically now set up like 2 main stages.
Yeah,
so
okay, that's fair.
Really
but anyway, he said it. Can you imagine? First of all, losing a family member, that number one, hard.
Right.
Leroy, I believe it was your grandmother passed away in the last couple of years here, and you guys had to deal with that, or
yeah. My it's been a while.
Yeah,
it's been a few years, but yeah, that was the last one.
But anyway, but now, as Tyson said, amplify that, and both men apply here. Losing a literal godlike figure to so many people. Now, Leroy, it's the typical what John Lennon said in his famous Beatles quote. The Beatles were bigger to young kids than Jesus just because they related more in that era. He didn't say they were bigger than the church. He said that we meant more to kids, which was kind of true at the peak of the Beatles.
By the way, fanaticals never like to hear shit like that, do they?
Yeah, right? But
they never can like take context.
Right? No, they can't. The controversy he stirred up.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's just imagine losing God-like personalities. And, I saw real hurt in the eyes of, oddly enough, last night, Nick Hogan, who was lucky enough, he said, to reconcile in those last few years. But it's...
By the way, beautiful shit by the fans there. So apparently, because there were still some half-boos. Right. But apparently most of the fans did approach him. Yeah. They just offer condolences,
well, and
hugs,
by the way,
love. Like, listen, apparently one told him, like, hey, listen, the shit your dad said broke my heart. I think it was like a Latin fan.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But like, man, he was my childhood hero, man.
And also before we get off, because I think this is worth mentioning, I am not actually going to rip All Elite Wrestling for what their version of it. I think the only person that should have spoken
was him.
Well, no, was Tony Schiavone.
That's what I'm saying. It was Tony Schiavone. Yeah.
No.
And
there was no Jesse, I get it. Every band, every musician, even from Coldplay to George Strait of all freaking people, to start giving to Ozzy because he transcended genre. Just because you transcend the same sport, Jesse, he never worked there. There was a tumultuous relationship with his ex-wife with that company. I don't think they needed to go out of their way for something.
Well, Tony Schiavone had said they hadn't been friends in 15 years, but he still had a lot of love for Terry Bollea.
Well, but one thing we've always acknowledged, he may not get it right on TV. Tony's just one of the nicest human beings you'll probably ever meet in your life. But Leroy, you go ahead and cue that up. We'll get off the sappy stuff here. But yeah, Leroy. Leroy, I didn't want to tell you about this, and I'm sorry I didn't. But Jesse and I are gonna just kind of move the mics. This is kind of your moment now, sir.
Sure.
What does this mean to you?
Hard as hell.
I'm sure, brother.
Yeah, I mean, a hero growing up as a kid.
Right.
And losing him, it just...
I know.
I mean, 3 10-bell salutes. That's how I said. I was like, oh my God, Triple H. I hate you and I love you. I got to watch Raw and see it and see everybody there. And as like coworker of mine is like, I lost a hero. And he goes, well, that's some hero. I'm like, if it wasn't for him, and I rattle off wrestlers that he loved, I said you wouldn't have them. No. I wouldn't have my podcast with you guys and everything. And it's just hearing his music for so many years. It just like, whoa.
Right.
It did that for a lot of people. It did that for me. I mean, everybody at work, they were joking with me. It's like, hey, you lost. I'm like, yeah, I lost a hero. And, they're joking with me to help me through it because they knew, it irritated me. And I have a boss the next day because, we lost Ozzy. We lost Hogan. But in between there, we lost that nice kid that was on the Cosby Show.
Yeah, Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Play Heath. I mean, there are three.
Yeah, that one I didn't really want to bring up because that one also kind of hit close to home like Ozzy did. Yeah.
That was a tough week.
Yeah.
And my boss looked at me and goes, and she's joking with me, get me in a good mood. She was like, "What childhood hero is gonna leave you today, Leroy?" I'm like, "Thanks." And it get me to smile, but I wasn't sure if it would bother me as much watching that 10-bell salute. Yeah. I mean,
and I want to point something out.
Playing his music at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I mean, that actually finally almost got to me.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm like, that might be one of the last times we hear that music. Like,
here's the thing, guys, and I'm talking to the fans, not you two. Sorry. Here, guys, people are allowed to feel the way that they feel.
Oh, by the way, I gotta give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Nick Jackson, that was fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Listen, they don't always do things I will agree with. We have a history of that. Go to our past episodes. We talk about it. But what a beautiful sentiment. Because he said, like, listen, we got to meet him twice when we were in the Indies, man. And he was nothing but solid to us.
Yeah.
Gave us all the advice in the world. And really was the inspiration because of what he dealt with Vince for wanting to try to do this without ever having to sign with WWE.
Right.
Even though it was a dream of ours.
Yeah.
And I actually thought what Nick had to say, that actually touched my heart too. Because I was just like, it's a reminder, man. We're all humans. We make mistakes.
And
we try to grow from them.
Yeah, and I think, guys, we like to have a lot of fun here on the show. We do. We love to have people on. Fans are welcome as well. All opinions are welcome, whether you love us or you hate us, because that's how we grow. That's how we learn. A father, a husband, a son, a Hall of Famer, a legend, a pillar, to quote my buddy here to my left, it is gone in whatever context. Beloved, cherished, we'll miss him, belated, destroying of a legacy, whatever you want to say, there is still, and I'll repeat it, a father, a brother, a son, a grandfather. Like, somebody has been taken, and that's never easy. And I only would say, if you want some closure, for better or for worse, towards Hulk Hogan, just look at his son, Nick, and understand that what I saw on the face was somebody who I don't think he was ever going to be ready, reconciliation or not. And I think that of everything WWE did, because here's the deal, folks. This is a business that teaches you one thing. The show must go on. Jesse, they didn't have to bring him to the show. They could have just done the tribute, gotten it over with. But it was a hell of a gesture.
I think I give Triple H a lot of credit for this.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Especially since he stepped into the role of holding the pin, as Paul Heyman beautifully put it a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I know some people saw him, at the White House, and people have their feelings on Donald Trump. Trust me, I get it.
Even Allison agrees. Well, Jess, we'll get to that at the end of this.
But here's what I was saying.
Yeah.
What I have learned from him, just listening to the interview with Stephen A. Smith, listening to the interview with Colin, listening to when he's made the rounds.
Yeah.
You know what he understands more than anything since his heart attack? Family.
Yeah.
Family is super important.
And the only thing I have to say about Triple H's comments is, folks, maybe he needs to get a coach or whatever, but even Allison agrees. He's a father.
Yeah.
That's a grandfather.
Yes.
He's got 3 girls. He's trying to make a better world for them than even their mom had to come up in, and she was a powerful woman. Guys, life is not always easy, and we will do what we have done. If we do this for legends in our mind, we have to do it for a legend in the game that created everything that we have. I'm going to quote Bully Ray on the way out while Leroy cues it up here. If we just consider the world to be this, the house doesn't exist without Hulk Hogan, and there's no other way to say it. So Hulk Hogan, Ozzy Osbourne, we miss you all. To every
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yep,
as well.
exactly. There was also the famous jazz artist who passed away.
Yes,
I apologize for the name missing at this point, but we say goodbye to many legends. You know, I say this truly out of love. I think it will get easier because I don't think you can lose a bigger name. So thank you to the Hulkster, and like I said, the last note before we move on is condolences to the family.
Absolutely.
And I guess now would be a good place, Leroy. If you can, try to get back to work. We're going to throw in the BetterHelp ad right there. For anyone that has been dealing with those kinds of things, know that there is a place you can go to know that you are not alone through these trying times, and understand that it is a privilege for the three men sitting here that we can be any part of relief for you and what's going on. But please, if you need more, because we are not capable of truly helping people, we're just, 2-3 entertainers, please reach out to those at betterhelp.com. Okay, Jesse, I have decided that this is the best way to get us all in a much better mood to continue on with the show. I obviously, when you joined us a few years ago, and I told Leroy this day one, when stuff like this happens, I want to quote-unquote get it over with, but as respectfully as I can. Someone who apparently wants to get over the past but doesn't want to be respectful about it. We'd usually give this man a pass, but I'm kind of done with it because what the fuck is Bryan Danielson on right now?
Oh boy, I forgot this was said last week.
No. It's not just Jesse, I've been saying this on every post. This mofo, for some reason, he's on a trip. He is on a fucking world tour of fuck what made me the most money. Fuck where I met my wife. Fuck it. WWE. Jesse, he has said so many different things. I don't even know if we're going to get to all of them. But Jesse, we've always known this. We'll get this done off rip. We've always understood that the guy has an indie mindset. I'm not trying to be Jim Cornette about it. He has an indie-rific mindset of how he likes wrestling, and he has his preferred style. Okay?
Sure. Okay.
But Jesse, holy shit, he does not care if a bridge is burned.
It won't be.
And I understand that, but like...
Let me dip my chip really quick. So go ahead, keep speaking.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that don't know, Bryan Danielson has said that winning in Wembley was bigger than WrestleMania 30. Some people have tried to play it off with some things he said about, well, I got to have my family in the ring, this and that. First of all, you didn't have that family at WrestleMania 30, so to compare the two makes literally no sense to me whatsoever. I don't know why we're even going to go off that, but he has called WWE a parody. He has done this. He has done that, which is hilarious that he uses that word because Jim and a lot of old school people who helped you in your career have called your company a parody of wrestling. And to quote Jesse from the pay-per-view that was overbooked, baby, but we still kind of enjoyed, Jesse, he seems to not understand the point of going away.
Okay.
My God.
All right. Are we ready?
Go for it. Oh, yeah, I'm ready. I'm good.
One, the bridge is not burned. I want to put that out there. The reason I can put that out there.
Oh, if CM Punk can come back, Bryan Danielson can come back.
Forget all that. It's not just CM Punk coming back. Look at how beautiful that relationship is between him and Paul Levesque.
Right.
That's beautiful. Seriously, Like they said, these two could not be in a room together 15 years ago.
Oh, hell no.
And not want to kill each other.
Right.
Now he's just grateful, right? He's humble. He's because he is a much different man than he was. CM Punk.
Don't tell me that moment was scripted when he was crying before the main event.
That's
Jesse, he was still a kid that wanted to do the main event of WrestleMania.
Something he truly felt like he would never get, especially working for Vince. And Triple H knew that he.
And can you imagine?
And Triple H actually always felt like he did deserve it.
And can you imagine, Jesse, having to go 7 years and quote unquote have to accept that, and then all of a sudden it's right back in your fucking living room?
And so, no bridge in WWE, I think, besides the one with Vince McMahon, has ever burned.
Oh yeah.
By the way, that was the first time they've used Vince's image was in the video to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
That lets me know even TKO will probably not be using his likeness ever again if they don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay. Bryan Danielson is... You know what this reminds me of? But I'm not going to get as mad as I did as when he did it, and now he's back in WWE doing great things. This is the Punk going on every wrestling podcast thing after he got fired.
Yeah.
And because I got to a point with him where I was just like, okay, well, shut the fuck up and go away. And the reason I felt that way was because I was still going to indie shows too.
Right.
And I'm just like, you kind of, and at the time, he was shitting on the whole business. Now, you know, to give Seth Rollins some credit, he kind of schemed it down to just WWE, but it was the whole goddamn industry he was going after.
Yeah.
It was just, of course, he also went after the biggest company in the world.
Yeah.
And I think Punk really, really needed to get away from pro wrestling. I think the 10 years away did him a lot of good, clearly.
Yeah.
Especially with his wife.
As a person and a professional.
Yes, absolutely. And things that failed in the UFC probably did him a lot of good. I think there was a lot of humble, pie eating. So, because, by the way, those fans are not so forgiving.
Well, it's not just the fans, Jesse. You realize you can't just have learned jiu-jitsu when you were younger, get into a 6-month training camp, and all of a sudden become Tom Aspinall.
Right.
Now, okay, Tom, I will say this. You still eat chicken wings with a knife and fork, so you're kind of a bitch.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, you're kind of a bitch for that, but I'm not about to tell Tom Aspinall he's a bitch for anything else.
So Bryan Danielson has said this. That's actually a majority kind of American opinion. I've heard the British opinion. He has the right to feel, and guess what? You guys, in your own ways, are all right. Here's the facts.
Yeah.
Here's the facts, right?
Yeah.
4 years ago, he once said, for those who forget, I like lying nowadays. Cody Rhodes has taught me I love lying now, right? He's full of shit. How do I know he's full of shit? His wife will not work with WWE currently because while he's under contract, she says she's afraid of what they might have her do. If this was Vince, I understand her fear.
Selena Vega worked in WWE for 2-3 years while Tommy was over there.
And by the way, John Cena and Nikki are exes, and besides the line by CM Punk, like, it's not a fucking thing.
No,
right?
God, no.
That's not what Triple H does. That's not what that team is going to do.
Well, Jesse, remember, on Unreal, one of the most watched clips has been him trying to figure out what the line was between Charlotte and Tiffany, and he said, Tiffany, you're going to go apologize. We don't do that shit up here.
Right.
Like, I mean.
By the way, I told you guys he's Papa H.
Have you watched all of them?
I have not yet.
I have not watched all of them. We're going to do a small thing later in the show for it, so we'll get to that.
I've seen most of them.
Yeah, but anyway, no.
I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, but anyway, back to
incredible.
Back to Mr. Danielson.
So, Mr. Bryan Danielson here, it's full of shit. That's number one. Number two, both moments are cool.
You got a top potato on your lips, by the way. There you go.
No worries. Here's the thing.
Well,
by the way,
it helped focus the camera for some reason. You're looking. You're in focus now.
That's right.
I love that.
Here's the other thing. I think he's trolling because the moment where fans, because by the way, it was the fans. I don't give a fuck what Road Dogg has to say.
You very rarely do.
I do not hate Road Dogg.
I know you don't.
But boy, was that when he put that shit out there, I was just like, get the fuck out of here. I'm a New Yorker. I can smell bullshit from a mile away, which is why I would have told you guys not to vote for Trump. Here's the thing. There is no world in which any of that happens. They change their plans with Batista, any of that, without fans. So I
also want to point out, Raw TakeOver, guys, in a real world, if you hop the rail, someone's tackling
you're going to jail.
Ass. That was all planned.
That was planned. They allowed you guys to do that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Because the comments, it's fine that he didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
But I also went, there's no way he doesn't understand why the fans would feel why that was his biggest moment.
Yeah.
Because it proved that their voice had some power, including with the tyrant known as Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
So,
because if Triple H will listen to the fans, that's kind of a given. Triple H is going to listen to the fans.
Right.
Trying to get Vince McMahon to listen to the fans, might as well fucking pound it.
We had almost 20-year period where we're like, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, no,
so,
doesn't give a fuck.
Part of it is definitely trolling. And the third part of it is it's still rah-rah AEW shit. So when I wrapped it all into like that bowl, these comments meant nothing to me. I'm like, if he does personally feel that way, that's fine. But he better recognize, and I mean that in every black way I can say it, that without the fans, he would have never had a WrestleMania moment.
Right.
And he got to have two in one night.
Yeah.
So like I hope he doesn't fucking forget that. And I don't think he has. Here's the thing, man. This whole Team AEW thing is getting real fucking old to me. Because I'm Team Pro Wrestling. So, as Team Pro Wrestling, of course, I don't want AEW to go away. Now, they're not doing themselves any favors.
No.
But, of course.
People, once again, got to post WWE tarping off the thing. I'm like, they still put 53,000 people in for just night one. So how many people were at All In?
Let's talk about that fan base doing that shit.
Yeah.
Unlike All In, that was planned.
Yep.
They tarped off the home stuff.
It was never meant to be on camera.
It was never. Those tickets were never on sale.
Nope.
They were hoping they can do 60,000 between what they tarped off and everything that was free.
Yeah.
They probably will tomorrow. They didn't last night. That's fine.
Yeah.
I want everyone to understand who acts like they don't understand, because I've been to Jet Life Stadium. That's an 80,000 seater. For SummerSlam to have 80,000, they would have had to walk out the tunnels like football players.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Jesse, do people not realize that in a football stadium, any football stadium, there's not a lot of room for anything but fans?
Now, you unfortunately, as a Jet fan, and we're the last ones to fill it up.
You guys got plenty of room.
You have to go back to like 2018 with Ryan Fitzpatrick in that bitch to see it at 75,000. But people in the cold showed up 75,000.
Yep.
To root the Jets on because they were in the middle of trying to get to the playoffs.
Sure.
Yes, that was almost 10 years ago. Don't fucking remind me. But
only Leroy's gonna do that to you now.
No.
Hey, I know you had an emotional moment, but when it comes to football, you shut the fuck up, sir. Okay.
I
say that too because you're our jinx.
No,
you're the jinx of the North. So
no. That fat bitch I was married to is a jinx.
I love you, Leroy, but you better not bring up my goddamn Jets today. I don't want to hear it. So
for the love of my better half, because she was a Jets fan before she came
that's
to
right.
Minnesota, and now she's a Vikings fan.
It's the weirdest.
She can still love both.
It's the weirdest. It's the weirdest rivalry.
It's the dumbest rivalry in sports.
In all sports.
And yet, you guys earned that win because that was one of the worst throws in London I've ever seen in my life for one of the greatest quarterbacks. I digress. But back to Bryan Danielson. He's like I said, to me, he's clearly trolling, and this is rah-rah AEW stuff. So for me, and I think everyone, you take it this way, ignore it.
But
ignore it.
But
it's not for me. I'm like, this is not worth discussing.
But to your point, man, the rah-rah just gets annoying after a while.
It's getting real old.
Jesse, do you remember when WWE was...
You only did 22,000 and a 70,000 seat baseball.
Well, no, that's the thing that people got to understand. It goes back to our topic from last week that numbers are kind of the most prevailing thing in all of business. Jesse, do you remember when WWE would have WrestleMania, the biggest spectacle in all of live entertainment, and they had 16,000 people in a basic basketball stadium?
Right.
Now, if WrestleMania's got only 16,000 people, the button's been pressed. Trump has been called. Somebody's getting fired. Like
70% of the people in the building lost their jobs.
Like, WrestleMania has 16,000 people.
Ain't happening.
What?
Unless there's another pandemic, it ain't happening.
That's it. So, boy,
just on the floor. We're not counting the other.
Meanwhile,
20 on the floor.
Meanwhile, another company put 80,000 in an arena. We're 2 years removed, and that same show was not even 25.
No.
And the button hasn't been pressed. The president hasn't been put on notice. And do you want to know why, everybody? Because at the end of the day, it all goes down to, it's like my opening segment of, like, you know, who we love, who we don't. You guys are going to pick and choose what you like, what you dislike, and that you're allowed to do.
Right.
But you are not allowed to pick and choose what other people want to view because of your own personal bullshit. Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying is this. Colin Cowherd is the only person through now 17 plus scandals over at Fox Sports who's never been mentioned, who's never been in any allegations. No one gives a shit, and his show is never scheduled to be canceled, no matter how many co-hosts he goes through.
Right.
Joy, you might as well have stayed with Colin. It was the only time you were apparently not a complete raging bitch. Because Speak was annoying after like 2 seasons. Wow, did that get hard.
And don't believe anything what they say about me, and if you're not sure about that, you can talk to my agent.
But all I'm saying is this.
She's at home.
But all I'm saying is this. The guy who sits up there and tells you my opinions are based on analytics, the past, and what I see in front of me seems to be the only person not with a problem going forward.
He's the only person with a job right now. But
Yeah, a couple people
hell, they canceled the facility, which was for the players by the players, because ain't nobody want to watch what the players got to say. But everyone's like, oh yeah, Colin's got dumb takes. Yet you guys seem to watch.
Well, sometimes it's not what the players have to say. It's what the players say, and then eventually people are like, okay, I don't want to hear what you have to say anymore. You know, like Chris Long. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I personally think we should all just let Bryan Danielson have this weird little moments that he's going to keep having, because guess where he's going to end up? The WWE Hall of Fame, the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. Like, it's going to happen.
The Cauliflower Alley Club. Like, it's all
he's going to hit all of them.
And you want to know something, guys? Even in the Vince era, the company that always put business above personal beef was the WWE.
So
if you would have told me back when that DVD first dropped, and by the way, it was the first time, and I think the only time still, that WWE specifically made a documentary to fuck with somebody, and that was Warrior. If you would have told me he would have been back for the Hall of Fame, I would have told you were nuts. While he was living, while he was alive.
Dynamite is still on TV. Hog Wrestling, Midwest All-Star Wrestling, and Booker T's Reality of Wrestling can all outdraw Dynamite anywhere they go.
Yeah.
I think.
And what bothers me is,
and I'm not saying that to hate. Let's just
put
it in perspective.
Yeah.
Well,
House of Glory. Hog. Yeah.
Our
For those of you who don't know.
Our DPW shows up here can outdraw him. I mean, when it comes full.
Probably at some point. Yeah. It's.
Well, even for the scale we are,
it's the main thing I need the diehards to understand, especially on the toxic one known as Twitter, and then on their personal shit, or on their little things on Reddit. when you put it into perspective, and this is why most people think Jet fans are the realest fans in the world, because we might be loud, but it's mostly hating our own team.
Yeah.
We put it in perspective.
Yeah.
Like, what is actually going on with the team? So, like last year, we could have all told you, like, we're not going to a fucking Super Bowl, but that boy better get us to the division round. Didn't even happen. That's why we were done with him.
Yeah.
Right? But we put it, because we can bring it down. And it's funny because now there's more fans between Patriot and Jet fans, which would have never happened 10 years ago.
No.
Because they're like, you know what? We've been wrong about you guys. You guys easily put shit into perspective. I'm like, when you've been losing for 30 years, it's fucking easy to do it. In AEW, at some point, you have to just put it in perspective. It's getting better, but it's very incremental.
Well, Jesse, what's really sad, and you got some chips in the beard there, by the way. But no, what's
saving
really...
it for later, that's all.
Flavor saver, baby.
What's really sad is, Jesse, so the WWE will purge themselves of what many people to be top main event talent,
right?
But they always seem to have a plan, which is why they've never truly lost,
Yeah, you're good there.
The fan base.
Keep going, yeah.
And what's really been helpful is NXT being on television, because everybody can kind of see what the future's going to be.
Right.
They can see the peaks that are going to happen. But then you've got the Twins, where the problem with Minnesota Twins right now is, A, the poll ads are trying to sell the team, but B, when you sell 11 guys in the middle of what was, yes, a season where they probably weren't going to do anything, but they were only 4 games below 500. Normally, that's not a team
really
that
weren't out. They aren't out the division.
But
either.
that's not a team that fires sales. That's a team that maybe tries to find a bat or an arm, and they just dropped it. And I think people are pissed because, Jesse, you gave away, if not the best closer in baseball, the best entrance of a closer in baseball, because Gene sent me the entrance the first night, and I'm like, thanks, Gene, I hate it. But anyway, Jesse, they didn't get anything worth note for what they gave up. They kind of just got a bunch of kids that may or may not pop off.
Right.
And that's the thing about WWE. When you get rid of main event talent, you bring up these NXT people, but you've already told people what they can be. You've already shown them what they can be, and now you're going to make them what they can be. But in AEW, Jesse, the people that they have used the first, we'll say, 3 years of this roster, and now they're barely on TV. I mean, no one in this world is more angry about the Hikaru Shida treatment of AEW than you. I don't think no one will ever be on that bandwagon harder than you. But just
somebody was saying, rumor, I don't know, I haven't found any more rumor on it, is that he's going to bring back his YouTube show that Tony has for AEW. I've heard somebody say that. I only heard one person say that, so I don't know how concrete that is.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think he can. Because what people don't realize is the reason why Dark went away was because of a deal to get Collision.
Correct.
He got Collision because he dropped Dark. That was a contract.
Stupid
fucking
move.
He decided to give all the power to the television station, which not even Vince did. Vince could do whatever he wanted on the WWE Network.
Which was probably the problem when it came to the U.S. because he knew I can get whatever the fuck I want out of them.
Yeah. But I mean, like, Jesse, if Vince wanted to put a WWE Dark style thing on the WWE Network 5 years ago, he contractually could have. He owned the wrestlers.
Correct.
But now...
Well, he owned the program.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But the problem with Tony is people don't realize, he stopped it to pay more attention. No, guys, he didn't. He stopped it, and it came out of his own mouth.
Right.
Dark and was it Elevation, I think was the other show? They went away because they signed an exclusive agreement with TNT, and obviously, Jesse, even before we heard about it, Collision was in the works. Another television show was at least in the future. And the problem that people need to understand, and I go back to Colin all the time, people laugh at it. When you stick to facts, you keep the politics out of it, and you just be authentic, as we talked about at the beginning, you survive storms. You survive everything. And the problem is Jesse, I think the flip up of Tony Khan recently on social media, too little, too late?
Maybe.
Because, Jesse, you said it yourself. He created this fan base.
you so you can change it.
But he has to be more forceful about it.
But it's going to be a process too.
Yeah, it's going to take a couple years.
It's going to be a process that he created. He's in a world of trouble though.
Because what kills anime conventions? What kills card games? What kills so many things is people.
Chicks with fat asses. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Well, that makes anime better. But anyway, but no, Jesse. What kills?
Nothing finer than a
What kills?
Oh, I know.
All those things. It's the people who go to a con and they spent 4 months working on their cosplay, and then someone shows up in a homemade thing they put together 2 days ahead of time. I'm going to talk more to the person that did it 2 days ahead of time because you put the effort in. You tried. You're trying to do that. Jesse, not everyone is Jessica Nagiri, who's a world-famous cosplayer who obviously has the ability to makeup artist, costume maker, all these high-end people to get her quality stuff. And first of all, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, so she's not an issue. But Jesse, don't go to a con and shit on somebody because their outfit looks like they put a bucket on their head to come in. Like, that person enjoys the same shit you do and wants to experience it.
Usually in those conventions, usually it's such a place of, and I mean this in a good way, weirdos and freaks.
Yeah.
It's going to be very rare you get.
Well, no. I'm saying that. But what I'm saying is what will kill those movements faster is those people being the majority is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, being like super judgmental.
Yeah.
No. Which won't happen.
No.
Because
that's not going to happen at a con.
Because I go to a lot of those too.
Yeah.
It's you protect each other. It's a lot of protection. There's a lot of like big brother, big sister stuff going on there. Like AEW fandom needs it badly.
Well, Jesse, how many times have you and I gone out to shows and there's just been a couple of girls who, they're just there. Now, we all know the 3 girls that show up because there was a happening in town. They want to drink and they're at a metal show and they're laughing at it. Then they get beat up in the pit and it's like, sweetie, you asked for this. I can't help you there.
That's true.
But then there's always a couple of girls that come in and you're like, you can tell they're nervous and you don't necessarily make a deal with them, but you sit there and you're like, okay, I'm going to watch that out of the corner of my eye while watching the show. One eye on the show, one eye on this person. And we're going to make sure that they're okay and that they have the best experience possible from a distance, obviously.
Yeah, and that's the other one that's become more, depending on where you are, it's become more protective is metal shows. Especially the older, my age group, very protective of the younger kids coming to shows nowadays. Making sure shit doesn't happen. And
Leroy, there's a clip I gotta find it of you. Slaughter to Prevail. They're a Russian metal band.
Yeah.
They were playing. I think this was their Warped Tour set. There was a guy who was crowd surfing to the front of the stage and holding his daughter like she was a surfer on a surfboard. And don't tell me every person, Jesse, with their hands up made sure she did. They didn't even care if he fell, but she wasn't about to hit the ground.
They made sure she was good.
They made sure she wasn't about to hit the ground.
I would have done that in a heartbeat.
And the band made sure she was good. It's a protection thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He falls, you're like, all right, get your fat ass up, bro. But, you still love him, but you're like, get your stupid fat ass up.
Oh, someone's catching her, but they're not catching Dad.
Bro, you shit on yourself. You good. Yeah. But it's still fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, it's... I don't... Here's the problem, though. Tony Khan has fostered such a community there. It's not even just the fandom; it's some of the wrestlers too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so like
it goes back to your point, Jesse. The rah thing comes from, and it's funny because wrestling's always had a rah, but it used to be guys holding on to a spot.
So really quick, Tony Khan doesn't understand what he's. Maybe he does, and that's why he's been trying to change and all that.
Yeah.
But I think Cody Rhodes just fucking killed him again.
Yeah.
So there was an interview.
It don't take much. Sometimes.
That was with former sports journalist. Jeez, what is his name?
Oh, was that the Dan Patrick show?
No. It was
Rich Eisen? No, it wasn't Rich.
He used to work for ESPN and NBC. Anyway,
Bob
Costas.
Okay, yeah.
And so
I'm a little mad at Bob because Bob was one of the people who was very much so negative about Pete Rose, and I'm like, you old farts gotta shut up about the Pete Rose bullshit, but whatever.
It's their fault.
Oh yeah, no.
Which is why they don't bring this shit up with people our age, because we're like, it's your fault.
Yeah.
So digression.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it, and I want to slap him too.
It just baseball has to learn to stop cannibalizing stuff, but that's a different story for another time.
Oh yes. And a different podcast.
Because my God, the stuff with Bryce Harper, and then the like. Okay, you guys need to stop this shit.
Yeah.
But he did this interview.
Yeah.
And he was finally like, I gotta ask. You created that company.
Yep.
Why go? And basically, without saying names, he alluded to the fact something happened, and I've been saying this whole time. Something happened between him, his wife, which I think is the most important thing.
Yes.
And Tony Khan.
Jesse,
Tony Khan's sister.
Jesse, you have reported it, and I'm giving you the credit, but I have always said it. He asked Cody to not be an EVP. He wanted to pull power, but still have Cody do all the stuff he was doing.
Not realizing Cody actually kept that locker room together, as we all saw.
You know what's funny? I saw a random interview with a little guy known as Aleister Black.
Correct.
Little guy, maybe you've heard of him, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Who just sat there and he was like, well, Tony wanted us to do six-mans. And I was like, yeah, I was all for it. And, in this business, there's egos and this and that. Yeah, that's a cancer backstage, you fucking morons. That guy sat there, did whatever the fuck you asked him to do when he's one of the most creative fucking minds in the business, but you're going to call him a cancer on the way out? Fuck you guys.
Never tried to, overstep, but called him a cancer on the way out was crazy.
That guy?
And now I see why CM Punk got himself fired.
Yeah, right?
I've worked certain jobs where it's just like, okay, follow me, see if you can do better than I did. And when that person quits, I'm like, now you see why I got fired? You get it now? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's AEW's future really depends on him changing, Tony Khan changing, Tony Khan learning, and Tony Khan making sure everybody else does too.
And we're not even talking about the booking yet. We're talking about PR.
I'm just talking about the way they try to overprotect their company. You got to stop.
You know what the biggest misconception in all of wrestling is right now? The misconception that WWE is still the old school of Vince, which is, we're the only thing that exists, pal. Nothing else outside of this. Yada, yada. They're not that anymore. And anyone that says that they are is living in a freaking bubble.
They allow wrestlers to go to other promotions.
They canceled the Karrion Kross thing from Bloodsport. Oh, I don't know, because he had a featured match on the show and they were Jesse, it's one thing when you have a featured match, but if Karrion Kross was only let's say he still had, what was the faction before they fired the tag team? Who were they, Leroy?
With the
last the Final Testament.
Yeah, Final Testament.
Jesse, let's say he and Scarlett were just going to stand out there while the Final Testament won the World Tag Team titles. He would have been able to do Bloodsport. Nobody would have given a shit.
Right.
But you have a featured match. And by the way, folks, we're going to get to this, but I'm going to get out there. Everyone's like, well, they still won't let him win. Kross's whole shit has never been about winning.
Well, he did. There was 3 matches. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But anyway, no. The biggest misconception is that WWE is this, is that. Oh, we're the only ones that exist, blah, blah, blah. First of all, once again, to someone who we all know, they did not kill the British wrestling scene. That is a fucking statement I will not listen to anymore, because that rumor's been put to death.
Nope. Dudes with penises killed the British.
Yep. But let me be clear.
Whole lot of
Dudes with
But
dicks.
let me be clear. Jesse, in 2025, there is a company in professional wrestling who has limited dates, except for top guys. They have made sure that people are exclusive. They do what they can to insulate themselves. They won't let people speak on other things, and they sit there and they tell everyone, we're where the best wrestle. You want to know what's funny? It's not the people you think I'm talking about in WWE.
No, that's AEW.
That's AEW. Those first 4 things I said, that was Vince McMahon era WWE. The last one, that's where I gave it away. But those first 4, you can't tell me that wasn't Vince McMahon, 20 teens, WWE.
Well, shit, 2000s.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But no. Guys, when is it going to get through to you that GCW is not working with AEW that much anymore?
No.
House of Glory isn't working with AEW that much anymore. AAA, hell, they fucking stopped working with them before they sold themselves.
Yeah.
CMLL's only doing it because CMLL has needed that for a long time.
Well, CMLL still has a close working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Right, exactly. And Jesse, you've even talked about you think based on how they do business, this might be their last forbidden door.
This might be the last forbidden door.
They don't want to do this anymore.
By the way, Rest Up Gabe Kidd, fucking terrible. They had to pull him from the G1.
Did they?
Yep. So all his feature matches are already forfeited.
Okay. Now, is that an automatic 2?
Automatic. I think 2 points too.
Is it an automatic 2 points? Okay. That's what I love about New Japan is that if something happens in the G1, they don't try to make it 2-story based and throw somebody else randomly in there. They just say, nah. I mean, that's how you sports base a damn presentation.
That's how sports base is supposed
That's
to work.
how you're supposed to do it, guys. But no, Jesse and Leroy, you can speak to this because you've watched so many different companies over the years. Nothing will kill it faster than people saying we're all that exists. Because Jesse, it's funny, and Leroy, you watched a lot of the losers, will say, and I'll get to my point. Jesse, nobody down south wanted to see what you people in New York liked in terms of wrestling. Who's currently got the most shit going on? The people in New York's version of wrestling.
Correct.
The Georgia War, they cannibalized themselves. Because, guys, by the way, if you haven't heard the Georgia battle stories, they're fucking wild. But Mid-South cannibalized itself. The NWA for a period of time was cannibalizing itself. The AWA, we all know that was a problem with Vern over those years. Jesse,
he stopped being profitable for 5 years too. That was kind of killer to him. And I know losing, who became Hulk Hogan didn't help.
Right.
But then he just it's like going back to some of those stories
Well, that was the biggest one that he lost, but there was quite a few that he lost.
Well, but remember, Jesse, love or hate the man.
Losing Eric Bischoff as a marketer, how did you not let him continue to see if he can recruit and all that
right.
shit?
Yeah. But Jesse, at the end of the day, we've talked about on the show. At the end of the day, if people, I don't believe there's a single person on this planet who would still go to work if someone offered them, I'm going to still pay you a full salary, but you're going to spend 5 days at home.
Right.
I don't know a single person on this planet who wouldn't take that deal. I don't know a single one. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think your work ethic is. It doesn't happen. Jesse, that's what Vince offered. Of course, everyone was going to leave. Vince McMahon, at the end of the day, all he did was be better at business.
Right.
That's all he did. In terms of the business side of taking Dusty and Dusty, Randy, Hogan, Sheik. He offered more money, less work, because the truth is everyone's like, well, Vince was the guy who did 300 days a year. I'm like, Vince McMahon never, ever, ever made them work as hard as you had to do territory style.
No,
he didn't do that.
Schedule was insane.
Because Jesse,
WWE schedule was bad.
Well, because Leroy, remember 300 days on the year, 300 days a year on the road. How many days did you wrestle? In the territory days, it was 300 nights a year you wrestled.
Right.
If you stayed in the same territory.
Exactly.
Most of the time he traveled.
Like Ric Flair, he traveled. Well, he was the champ, so he had to travel.
Well, but Rick was different because, Jesse, there's always the top guys who disprove the rule. Rick was different because when Ric Flair came to town, he had we now call it the Roman Reigns effect. He made money just by showing up.
Right.
He didn't need to perform.
But there was a lot of
the performance was the extra.
There was a lot of ones that were starting out.
Yeah.
And, like Piper, and same with Stone Cold. I mean, they were in a whole bunch of territories because they were looking to get better, to learn their craft, stuff like that.
But what killed the territories
say, hey, boom, 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 boom.
was sometimes first of all, mostly the promoters killed territories. But, Jesse, there's a lot of places where it's the fans. The fans, whether they... Because the truth is, remember, up here in the Midwest, we had Sheik, the original Sheik for a while there. And Jesse, he got a little too violent. Now, they loved it in South Philly. They loved it out there. ECW was pretty well, doing just fine out there. But it didn't work for old AWA territory. It didn't work for people that were looking for more wrestling, not gimmicks. Right. And in the end, whether we like it or not, Jesse, the fans stopped going. They stopped buying tickets.
Right.
Vince McMahon never had that problem until he did slightly, and then he had to course correct.
Right.
But Vince, unlike most promoters, he course corrected. So, to my point before we move on to actual stuff here that we'll get to, I pray that Tony is on the right side now. But Jesse, he's got to take a lot of licks to fix this.
It's going to take time. It is. It's going to take time. You know, a lot of them will say like, "Well, remember when WCW died, there was a lot of wrestling fans that didn't go back." True, fair. But a lot of them now are in their like 50s.
Yeah,
their kids watch WWE.
Yep.
So. You can't, like, yes, Vince ended up winning the Monday Night Wars. But to be fair to Vince, he actually did not out-creative the other guys.
No.
They killed themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they did.
You and I both read
They
Eric.
sempoku'd, like, in the worst way.
You and I both read Eric's book, and Eric doesn't shy away from the fact that it was a lot of death by 1,000 self-cuts.
Death by, like, so if I stab this pimple on my stomach over and over, will I die? Yes, you will. So
you will die. That is how that works.
Yes, no. Besides the early 2000s, they've never had the audience that they once had. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll never get back to having 10 million, which is, by the way, a weird thing to say, because as was once brought up to Eric Bischoff, to be fair, there's a lot of ways people watch their stuff nowadays. It's not just television.
Oh, you can't tell me that 10 million people don't watch WWE.
Well, and that's the other, like, so really quick, and I think somebody told me, and I got to find the clip. Apparently somebody brought this up to Jim. Like, hey, Jim, just to let you know, man, I think WWE can still do the crowd numbers they do because most people watch this stuff on other stuff that's not just TV.
Right.
So there's no way.
Well, but see, Jesse, the one thing
the U.S. alone aren't watching it still.
Well, but see, Jesse, the one thing WWE has leaned into, because this never happened in the Vince era. No one's gonna tell me it did, because we all used to wake up on the one pay-per-view we missed, and YouTube was copyright stricken. It didn't happen. We didn't have the technology. Jesse, WWE put up Seth's entire cash-in this morning, the night after the show.
Funny.
Or the morning after the show.
So I missed the first half of SummerSlam. So I actually got on the cock. No homo. This morning to finish.
There's no homo whatsoever.
I
got that cock at home. I'm going to return that son of a bitch on.
I got it this morning to hop on the cock to watch the first 3 matches.
Yeah.
I actually didn't miss them because I was doing my band practice and stuff and getting the band ready for a couple shows we got.
I was down at a concert. I saw all the winners and losers.
Well, right, but I was like, well, shit. Okay, tonight I'll get up in the morning, so that way when we talk about it, I'll have some full context, right?
Are we gonna
Leroy,
review next week?
Leroy, you're gonna fucking laugh your ass off. Are you ready for this, Leroy?
No, we'll do that one.
Leroy, because you're a guy who limits what he pays for, and I fucking understand why.
Yeah.
Leroy, I went back
4 kids.
I got back on Peacock to watch those 3 matches.
Yeah.
Zach, do you know what I found out after I got off of Peacock?
What did you find out?
That they were playing the whole fucking night one again on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
On repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And my buddy was like, oh, yeah, they've had it on since 4 a.m. this morning. Nigga, what? I was actually mad. Because I'm like, WWE, you could have fucking announced that.
No, they didn't want to.
But I guess you don't want to hurt the people still paying you for your stuff, which is NBC. But yeah, like, I'm like, to do this shit on fucking YouTube?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But again, Jesse, WWE at least acknowledges how people consume content.
And by the way, because this is the other thing I'm sick of hearing about, and then I guess if we're going to go to SummerSlam, we can.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm actually absolutely fucking tired of hearing about from a certain fan base, a small portion of them that
how big the max numbers are?
They're constantly fucking. You guys get mad at AEW. They're constantly breaking kayfabe over there. I'm like, no one actually got mad at AEW breaking kayfabe, but it was the way it was portrayed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only person at this point in 2010 who actually still cared about kayfabe that fucking much was Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
We had all been to indie shows. We had seen,
and that's why the next topic before WrestleMania or before SummerSlam is, guys, I know there are a lot of old school fans.
By the way, boys, start saving up. Tickets go on sale in December.
Yep. Yeah.
If I can get the preemies, start saving up.
Yep.
I am saving up.
SummerSlam in Minneapolis, goddammit, we're going.
Yep. But anyway, no, guys, let me.
I gotta get a good Christmas gift for my son.
Yeah.
But I will save my money.
But anyway,
for that.
guys, guys out there, I know there are a lot of old school people or a lot of fans who don't want to see it, who aren't going to see it, blah, 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 blah. Guys, Triple H has acknowledged for years, and they're trying to become more of a sport. Guys, F1 led you backstage, to quote Triple H, didn't really hurt their numbers. Didn't really take away the mystique of what they do.
The NFL, the NBA have done it for years.
Hard Knocks is, even if it's with shitty teams, is still one of the most watched things on fucking HBO.
It's not even like the season. It's like the process of getting to a season.
Right.
And
because Jesse, and we'll go off wrestling for 2 seconds because this is why football becomes so. It's almost more of a nerd sport now than baseball because football isn't all about numbers. It's all about preparation. Colin Cowherd famously said, it's the only sport you spend 6 days out of the week preparing for that bitch.
For one day.
6 days out of the week. Because people, Monday, off day, some guys do treatments.
Video watching.
Lifting. But that's all on your own time. But guys are still working. It's very rarely a day off in the middle of the season. Tuesday, you're back for full practice.
Well, usually it's like preliminaries of game planning and all that shit.
Wednesday. Okay, so Tuesday is preliminary stuff. Wednesday, Thursday, they are jamming things down your throat. Friday is usually a walkthrough. Friday is usually a travel day, and then Saturday, when you're wherever you're at, it is a walkthrough. But here's the deal. You prepare 6 times as much as you play in football. And people wanted to see it. That's why training camp now, Jesse, they're selling more tickets to training camp than some teams sell to games.
It's so crazy because it's just like
the Vikings built what? It's a 5,000 person stadium at their practice facility.
Because,
it is.
And they sell that bitch
because
I still got to get down there.
Fucking give the NFL credit, dude. The roster goes from 90 to 53
in 2 months.
In less than a month.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's right. That's right. They keep guys longer now. Yeah.
Because they keep at least 17 that they can kind of switch in and out the roster.
Yeah.
But it goes in a month because training camp is only a month.
Yep.
It goes from 90 to 53.
Jesse.
And yet people are fucking enthralled to know about everything going on.
Jesse.
That's crazy.
I always tell people who don't watch football, and sometimes their ears perk up, is think about this.
Because really quick, soccer hooligans don't give a fuck about training camp.
Oh God, no. They just want to watch the game.
But they are embedded in their teams.
Well,
oh yes.
Well, so Jesse, remember, Chris Collinsworth said when I was watching the Hall of Fame game, it's going to be a really cool thing to be a beat writer in Detroit and write about how bad this game was, and you're going to want to do it because football's back. And Chris Collinsworth goes, most of these guys are going to be carrying packages to UPS
working
next
at Home
week.
Depot.
And you know what, Jesse? Welcome to the business because Chris was in that business for a number of years.
He got cut before. He knows.
It's like Jesse.
Some of them are going to go play semi-pro football.
Jesse,
you do what you got to do.
Triple H said it multiple times. We're not trying to pretend that we aren't what we are anymore.
Right.
Here is what we are. We're not calling you stupid. And by the way, Triple H, I think, was the one that said it. People have been knowing this shit for 20 years now.
To keep acting like it was something it wasn't was stupid.
Yeah. So you know what? What I see is real. The highlights, like I said, Tiffany got in trouble. Triple H was disappointed, not angry. Your guy, Bruce Pritchard, is still a fucking douchebag.
Yes. Yes.
Pause for a second.
I agree with that.
What's up with that fat motherfucker?
I have no idea.
overproduced.
Can you go talk to that fat motherfucker and tell him it's not 1993?
I was hoping William Regal would.
The difference.
God bless William Regal.
I love that
Who
guy.
the fuck does Bruce Pritchard think he is?
Two of the biggest stars in the business.
I better never get a chance to call in live to that show.
Yeah.
I'm like, nigga, if not for Vince, you wouldn't even be in the business because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Why is he still around?
Because he's one hell of a kiss ass.
Like, bro, you must be a professional ass eater. Good for you, nigga. I'm from New York. Come see me. What is he talking about? Yes, things get over, but Chris didn't do a bad job.
No,
And William told him that.
Yeah, and he did. Well, he was more worried because he went over. But it wasn't his fault. It was the wrestlers going. I mean, it happened.
No, you know whose fault it was? Because guess who's ahead of him? Bruce fucking Pritchard.
Yeah.
Could have told the wrestlers, hey, don't go over. When the ref tells you to get to the finish, you guys got to get to the finish
Yes,
because we're on the
it's true.
time thing. You didn't fucking do it.
Yeah. No, I don't know anything about Bruce.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Something to wrestle about. Nigga, you don't even know what you're talking about. Put on pink makeup, laugh like a clown, and be one. Shut the fuck up. I could not believe he said that shit to Chris Parks. Go fuck yourself.
Joseph Parks.
Sorry, Joseph Parks. I think his name is Chris Parks, isn't it?
I think his name is actually Joseph
No,
Parks,
I think
isn't
it's
it?
Joseph
Oh,
Parks.
okay.
I think it's actually Joseph
By the way,
Parks.
I love him. I got the chance to meet him when they came to the Cloud Iron
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
I could not believe he sat there with some of us wrestling fans for a fucking hour just talking about his life in the business. He was so cool about it.
But all I'm saying is that okay, so yeah,
Could have
that.
walked away from us and like, guys, you're
But
not
then
paying
also,
me.
but then also, Jesse, Triple H is willing to admit he was trying to be one of those sharks, and he was toxic for it. He admitted it. Triple H sat there and said,
Joseph.
"Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, it is Joseph." But no, he said, 15 years ago, I wanted to strangle this little fucker, and and by the way, he swore.
Yeah.
He was himself. Because remember, I always tell people, and Stephanie said it during the documentary, Sean and Hunter are still just Sean and Hunter.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you're not going to change that.
Yeah.
But no, it's like he said, 15 years ago, you lock us in a room, I'm killing this motherfucker.
Right.
But now, I got kids. He's older. I'm older. We've been up and down. He still wants to do this. He still has a love for it the same way I do.
Mm-hmm.
But now we can foster a way to do it together
Right.
and not foster fighting for it.
Right.
And I actually don't envy Triple H because Jesse.
Because to give CM Punk credit, he was just like, that was the top guy. And yeah, I didn't like him, but it was also a competitive factor.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Because Jesse, remember, Triple H was put in an awkward position back then, going from talent to the office and having to be a go-between.
So shitty of Vince to do that to him.
Yeah.
Just to prove maybe one day you'll take the pin from me when I'm dead. Like, I don't. To be honest, I don't know how he puts up with him as his father-in-law.
I don't think he does much anymore, to be honest with you.
I'm about to say Stephanie doesn't. It seems like she's separated from herself from her father, which is smart. I understand she has a love for her mother, though. I think her mother is a shrewd bitch.
Yeah. Linda not making friends these days, but no, Jesse, Unreal.
Well, she's making money.
WWE Unreal is.
She always has.
Yeah. But no, Jesse, they are not. Everyone who hates on it, they're not pretending that this is a scripted or an unscripted. There's going to be fights back. Dude, you saw Charlotte not know what was coming. You saw that she now realizes I have to give back. And that's always a hard moment for somebody who's used to being on top.
Right.
And you see now her talk about, in walks this 5'0" pixie, and now I've got something to go for again. I've got something to be excited about because she, the pixie, learned from that guy what it meant to love this business and what you could do creatively.
Correct.
And Charlotte, you know what's funny to me? I think what's happening on camera is very much Charlotte actually wrestling with herself, no pun intended, like, yeah, really the pom-pom spot, this, that, really? And then all of a sudden you hear the adulation of people because they're realizing, oh, you're not trying to weasel your way into a 15th heavyweight championship. You're not trying to get to 18 to beat John. You're trying to do some women figured out before you, but you know, again, late to the party, but willing to accept that you're late to the party. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was somebody that was.
Tiffany was always going to go over.
Yeah. There's somebody on X Twitter made comment about not wanting to watch that on Netflix because they don't want to lose a kayfabe. And I commented,
kayfabe's been dead for 30 years.
I know,
boy.
but they still hold on to it. And I commented to him, it's like, you know what? I said, we've worked with wrestlers, different promotions. I've seen behind the scenes. I get to know. It makes me appreciate the wrestlers and their performance more.
I thank Leroy for this because Leroy is ultimately the reason why this show exists.
I'm a stubborn old man.
Yes, you are. But no, Jesse, you and I have talked about it before. What did we all want 10 years ago? Meet our heroes, photographs, autographs, all this stuff. What do I want to do now? I want to sit down and talk to these guys for 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
I want to learn, you know, from their own lips what happened, why it happened. And, you know, it's like, guys, I didn't grow up in the era of Ed Sharkey, the trainer of champions. I sat at a show for an hour and just listened to him talk about what he was watching, the matches. It was Rampage versus Ken Anderson, all this stuff. And him sit there, and when he got angry at something that Ken and Rampage did, first of all, Ken would look at Rampage and be like, you listen to this motherfucker, because even at his age, he'll still whip your ass. But, like, he's sitting there talking with other legends, Tatanka, all these other guys. And I found myself learning about myself that, like, man, I can't have Ed Sharkey sign something after what he just gave me. What he just gave me is priceless.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I can't ask it. You get what I'm saying? A photograph with a signature is almost hollow compared to what we've been able to experience since we've gotten in this business.
Yes, a simple car ride down in the Twin
with Jerry
Cities
the fucking King
in
Lawler.
the wintertime, and you didn't get an autograph? You weren't there.
You weren't there, man.
You didn't get that experience that I'm going to remember the rest of my life. That I'm like,
and Jesse,
I get to share with Zach. I mean,
and Jesse,
it's
let's be
awesome.
honest. You probably think this. Jerry probably thought at the end of that, because he was doing we were doing a gift for the promoter, and he thought that he was going to have to sign something when it was over. And you know what? You know what? That's fine that Jerry thought that.
Keep it here.
Jerry.
Better there.
My side face is ugly. Go ahead.
Jerry probably was more shocked when he got into his hotel that we didn't ask for a photo, didn't ask for anything. He's probably that probably sticks out in his mind a little bit of like, that's not how it usually goes. But that's the thing. Jesse, if we see if you and I were traveling, if you and I were in an airport and it's 3 a.m. and we're waiting on a flight and they're walking by, you and I are going back to bed, man. We ain't fucking getting up and trying to get an autograph. It's 3 in the fucking morning, brother.
It's like, dude, that was them. Yeah, cool. Hi.
People
and keep
see
going.
me interacting with wrestlers.
I'm probably going to stop the people at 3 a.m. they're doing it. I'm going to walk over and be like, get out.
Get out of there.
You know, me, former, New Japan Junior Tag Team Champion, for Bullet Club, talking with him and
Clark Connors.
Yeah, and people were just like, you easily, interact with wrestlers. I'm like, because I just approach them as people.
Yeah.
And so anytime I just talk with them, I'm like, I actually never ask like, how's this match, man? I'm a big fan. I just, hey, by the way, congrats on your success in your career. And especially when they come to me and say like, woo, difference of temperature when you got here. What? And it's always a good way because they always like, yeah, it's cold. How do you guys live here?
Well, the first time,
it's always a good way.
Well, the first time we ever saw Funny Bone was at Turtle Lake, but that was in the middle of the summer. We saw him. We saw him not that soon after in the cities for Angels and Demons.
Yep.
Jesse, that was a bit of a temperature change for who lives in Vegas.
Right.
Who lives in Vegas.
Right. It's a different world.
But, yeah, no.
We got to talk to Teddy Long, but we never approached him as fans. It was just the fact that his table was kind of close of ours.
Oh, dude.
And then, we just ended up speaking with him. And
I'm honest with people. Maybe I'm wrong.
Cal and us we had that bucket of candy, and then he goes, excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
Can I get, yes, sir, you can have some candy.
I could be wrong. I don't think we really asked a question of Teddy.
No.
I think Teddy just started talking.
Yeah, he just started talking. We started rapping with him, and that went on for a good half an hour. And then after he left, it was when I was like, Dude, we literally just talked to Teddy Long, and I'm sure for him that had to be kind of fun because we never asked for anything. We
and for me, I mean, just last Friday at the show, trying to figure out a table where I was going to sit and everything, and it was like, we'll put you here. It's like I got one wrestler here, Cody Jacobs, sitting on this side of me, and then I got Cal Bloom, Von Wagner from NXT, and I saw him last year at Grand Slam, and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, it's so awesome. I said, I met you last year at Grand Slam 7, at Grand Slam down there. It's like, cool. I'm talking about
this is in
everything.
No way.
Right.
I just love it.
This is in no way a shot at any other podcaster that we know or this or that, yada, yada. Because first of all, go listen to Indie Talk, which Jesse and Jaron, they're great guys. Cal does an amazing
President
job.
Square Circle. By the way, congrats on the new co-host.
Yep.
Your third-class beard there. Yeah.
I was trying to avoid those, but hey.
Oh, I'm still going to shoot at him.
That's your robbery. Go ahead. I get
it. His self-claimed number one beard.
Much, Jesse,
I'm sorry.
How many times have you talked with a wrestler that we've worked with, and they unsolicited drop, oh, well, you guys have always been great. Partially because we try to do things in a way that they're not used to. Like, I've spoken with someone whose name I won't bring up because it's a very recent conversation and really it's about some other stuff. But no, it's like, Jesse, what do you think a musician hates getting asked after a 30-year career? If you're Metallica, don't ask me about why Saint Anger sounded the way it did anymore. It's been 20 years. Don't ask me about the hate from the Napster thing. It's been 30 years. Don't ask me what my favorite song was with this.
They would be unfortunate to sit in a room with me because I would damn sure ask.
Well, that's fair.
But especially as a producer. Like, how did that happen?
Right. But Jesse, from their perspective, how can you be different than the other 40 interviews they've already done over 30 years? Like, I mean...
Well, and that's why I've always approached it as more of a, and I've told you, too, and you've done a great job of it. Approach it as a conversation. You just mean someone approach it like because then if you approach it as a conversation, they're not going to be asked a question they've heard 30 times. And guess what? They enjoy talking to you more.
And you want to know what's funny? Because it's hilarious because Chris Van Vliet, I think, is like the peak right now.
Right.
Chris gets those questions, but the way he presents it is like, I know you've been asked it 70 times.
Well, he always laughs and goes, well, this one you've been asked 1,000 times, but you know what? Today's a good day to clear the air. Like, he's always joking going into it.
Yeah.
And then they go, okay, I think I know what's coming. You know, so it's...
Well, because Jesse... Hornswoggle mentioned this to Chris in his interview, and great interview, by the way. You should go watch that, everybody. But, like, I don't think if it was Chris Van Vliet that Snow White and how pissed off he was at Peter Dinklage would have even come up.
Probably not.
But it got out there. He was able to feel those emotions, and he and Chris were able to move on and have a fun interview where, he got the midget card because, because Swoggle's all cool with that. Right. But it was like, I don't think Hornswoggle gets his Peter Dinklage hate out of his system with very many other interviewers.
Because then they would think, they can't interview Peter Dinklage in the future. So, yeah, they're not going to.
Right. Yeah. Which, by the way, guys,
Peter Dinklage was wrong for what he did with Snow White, but that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, I was about to say it wasn't a situation handled properly.
Sometimes trying to be woke makes you forget your reality.
And I don't even know if he was trying to be woke. That felt more selfish than anything.
Well, but remember, I think the problem was there because Swoggle talked about it. I think the issue there was you wanted to come off as, oh, Disney's going to use little people again. Yeah, and a bunch of little people actors are going to get paid.
Right.
Swoggle said it. I'm not going to go to an audition where Brad Pitt's on the other side of the curtain and attempt to go for that role.
Right.
It also was a bit of a stick your nose up to your past work because Peter Dinklage did Elf, cashed that check just fine.
Got Game of Thrones when really his character was supposed to be a 6'4" dude, but played the shit out of it because he's a world-class actor.
Right, but then you go and you cast.
I forget what they call it, but it's basically you shut the door you walk through.
Yeah.
That's what he did, and that was foul. There was no doubt about that.
But that's the thing. To get back to the point, we are fans first, but we're the good fans.
Well, because so even with my cons, I don't always get to take all the photos with the actors and wrestlers and musicians that'll pass through.
Do you have a photo with Deonna Purrazzo, or was it just that 20-minute conversation you had?
We just had a great half-an-hour conversation.
Yeah.
I exchanged our information
Yeah,
with her, but I probably was getting ready to take up her time because she was getting ready to do some photos. But I couldn't help myself because I'm like, oh, she's kind of by herself over there, and I've been wanting to just be like, hey, Deonna, big fan. By the way, you mentioned this about pizza in New York. We're both from New York. Let's talk about it. And it really actually started as a conversation of a person from Jersey and a person from New York.
Yeah.
And then a lot of different stuff in between. And that's, just like with Julia, like I told people, there's a lot of things you guys know about that conversation I will never tell anyone else about.
Yeah.
But it was one of the funnest things I've done while watching a pro wrestling match is sitting with a young pro wrestler.
Yeah.
And not only have a conversation about her life and her career, but about the match itself and her ideas and my ideas. And just, like I said, it was, like I told people, I never approach people, give my dad credit after my fangirling as a kid for Mick Foley all those years ago.
But you were a kid.
But he always
They're
said,
heroes to you at that point.
But he always said, approach them as people. They're people.
Yeah.
And so I always do it.
Yeah.
I always approach people as people.
Now we'll move on to actual wrestling stuff here, guys. I'm grabbing water. Yeah. So Leroy, if you want to get that card up, we'll do that. But before we move on, I want to give a lot of credit here, and it's funny. I'm bringing this up with Jesse walking out to get water, but I'll say right here, we want to give a lot of love and everything to our boy AJ Styles for being able to go home. And be able to sort of have what he believes might be the last moment he has in a TNA ring, which, maybe there's a match, Leroy. He doesn't know. He said never say never, but he doesn't know. But AJ Styles got to go home, and I think he was very appreciative of it. He enjoyed it.
Or they say he was going to be in there with somebody else, but they changed it because they didn't want to tease the idea of a match and everything. It was Was it? Frankie Kazarian.
They didn't want to tease a match between him and Frankie.
They have history together. They didn't want to. And that's fine.
Yeah, but
I have no problem with that.
No, definitely we want to make sure we acknowledge that AJ Styles, he built that house. It's had a lot of foundational issues for a lot of years, but
because of the bank.
You said water and you come back with snacks.
Come back and what the hell?
Where's the water?
I'll get it.
All right. Jesse's in his own house. This is just how he's going to be, folks.
I'm going to get some food.
That is how I roll when I'm in my own.
But anyway, we will get to the
chili waiting for me at home.
We will get to SummerSlam Night 1.
Yes.
I saw a lot of negative reviews, a lot of boring mid comments, and I'm like, I enjoyed it.
That's from the IWC who are constantly just being proven wrong.
I said I just saw the first match, and then I was lucky enough to go to a concert with my lovely lady. I can't pass that up.
No, I get it.
Because
I went to the same concert a couple years ago, but that's because Skillet was there.
Yeah, never. They're planning next year's, and so I haven't heard anything yet.
By the way, what country band played at the fair?
That was the Montgomery Gentry.
He's still playing? I thought
awesome.
The partner Montgomery Gentry did pass away, but he is.
No,
still
I know that, but I
performing.
thought he stopped doing music altogether after the other guy passed away.
No,
that's pretty cool.
He's doing his
It's
stuff,
funny that
so.
he can keep doing music, but those idiots in Florida Georgia Line can't figure their shit out.
Well,
thanks to you.
Okay, it's one
my
half
coworker
of this.
is now a fan of us, so thank you, Leroy.
Your
which
coworker
coworker of mine? She's a younger lady. She's only about 19.
Okay.
At the fair, approached the table, said you were incredibly kind. She's gonna watch.
Well,
so Miss Lily,
cool.
hi. Actually, Miss Lily, you should be working, so don't be saying hi to me. But
cool.
So you did a good job.
So she talked to Kathy the whole time, is what you're saying. Got it.
Probably.
No.
No, but no, she.
Nah, man.
She said you were incredibly funny. You were kind with everyone who approached you. So thank you for being our representative.
Oh yeah, I know.
I'm sorry for everyone. I couldn't make it.
I
still have a job.
Don't worry. The question was
I
asked.
couldn't get out of that.
The question was
Same.
asked. The question was asked a little bit. It's like, what happened? Is it? work.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to pay
No,
the bills,
I
yo.
think we gained a few.
But hey, great
few more
segue.
fans.
If you guys all want to help us, all of you can go to our Patreon for only $1, and maybe we can make all these events because,
Patreon.com/13subject to change podcast. Once again, that's patreon.com/13card subject to change podcast. We actually have close to, I think now 25, 30 of you for like $1 to $5. And we want to thank every single one of you. From now on, we're actually...
I'll have to check.
Yeah, double check. We're going to start putting names up for everyone who subscribes, so thank you.
And also look forward to this Thursday or Friday. Jesse and I have a little fun coming to you from our TikTok.
Here's a fun thing. I know nothing about how we're doing this, so this is going to be fun.
And that's why this TikTok is going to be the best fucking thing you will see all week. But let's get to this card, Leroy.
Let's go.
Thank God I'm going to watch it and find out. All right now for night one, it started out with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso defeating Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed.
That boy almost lost his energy just eating all the way down the ring.
Yeah, damn, dude.
That was a lot of eat.
But Jesse, you always like to talk about this. You always like to shove it in the diehards' faces because, again, it's a fact. It's not a joke. Jesse, this man shows up and Roman Reigns is like God to these people. Like, I mean, to a WWE audience, Roman Reigns is the man.
He is, I'll just say it. He is the guy who gets the special privileges because when he shows up, the company just made $300 million. Just for him showing
They
up.
never asked him to take a pay cut.
Nope.
They never suggested maybe he give a little bit of it back, this or that. Like, no.
Him and John Cena might still be there, and there's a couple of growing new faces of the company. But while they're still there,
Yeah.
they're two of the main faces of the company.
Well, Roman Reigns is always my example when people talk about Carmelo Hayes because I'm like, Jesse, there's no reason for Carmelo to be in the main event when he has to compete with that.
Right.
It doesn't make you can, as Jesse put it last week, you can put him around it. He can be orbiting the circle.
And they do have him orbited a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Jesse,
Oh, yeah.
Carmelo, but see, that's the problem with wrestling fans, both casual, WWE, diehard, the whole 9 yards, yada yada. Jesse, Carmelo could be on top for 6 weeks. Be in the main events. He could be mellow, don't miss every single week. But Jesse, you know as well as I do, the second that music hits, he's a nothing burger. He just is, and that's just a fair statement.
So there's your da-da-da, like you no longer matter.
Yeah. And by the way, Jay held his own. This is a good, fun opening match.
This was a lot of fun.
It also shows that Roman can be a little bit less serious.
I know we say it every time,
Yeah.
but it has to be said.
Mm-hmm.
Twofold. Braun Breaker is the future face of the company.
Jesus Christ.
The more he evolves, the better. The more I love him.
And clearly Bronson took the weight loss, but didn't lose any of the monster.
Number 2, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm happy his uncle's not in the room. Maybe his uncle would agree, though. He's going to be better. He's going to be way better than his dad and his uncle.
He's going to be better than both of them combined.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they both know that.
I think they both know it. But, yeah, it's incredible.
And he got his knee a little banged up, or whatever. It's something he did.
From what I've heard, it's not serious.
Hey, Leroy, quick question. A little foreshadowing for our fans and those who may be watching live. Did the knee look bad later in the show?
Oh, we'll get to that.
That's what I'm saying. Did the knee look bad later in the show?
I didn't get to see that. I'll have to watch it.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Anyway.
I heard what happened. But
next
I didn't
match.
See it. All right, next up
I have some emotions there.
We have the women's tag team champion, and hey, we got a new champion, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss.
This is what happens when you take a veteran's advice properly. Raquel Rodriguez is so much better because she took what Kevin Nash said, didn't get insulted. She listened. Her last 2 major outings, she has been phenomenal. And she was always good.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
She was always amazing. But here's the thing. You don't need... Rhea Ripley shouldn't work big. That's not Rhea's thing.
Right.
Work powerful. 2 different things.
Yeah.
Because remember, for a lot of years, Jesse, Khali worked big, not powerful. 2 totally separate
And that's
ideas.
because his knees are actually near the end of his career.
Yeah, no, exactly. WWE got him so hurt.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. But no, she took the comments, work big, and she has been phenomenal.
You know how it's easy to get not offended by something Kevin Nash says, his best friend's your boss.
Yeah.
So all you got to do is go.
It does help.
What does he mean?
Yeah.
I bet you Triple H is like, if you're ready to hear this, I'll break it down.
Yeah.
But clearly she's taking the advice.
Yeah.
And by the way, because every time I hear Kevin on his show, I'm like, I know wrestlers sometimes get offended by him, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
But like,
the only comment I don't agree with was that WrestleMania 20 was the night wrestling died. That's the only thing that I.
He's
really
weird about that shit, though.
Yeah.
He will always be weird about that shit, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I still love Kevin. His advice to wrestlers through his show, I'm like, he should be a coach. This is sound shit.
Yeah.
Because clearly, just like Jim Cornette,
but
he's
I agree,
actually watching.
But I agree with this.
Yeah.
I agree with this. He doesn't need to be, because Jesse, well, you learned this with a guy named Adam Gase, but we won't go too deep into that. Some people are geniuses, but to explain what they're saying, you need a head coach.
Right.
Like, I look at the Vikings and I say to myself, Jesse, Brian Flores, and Brian's allegations from his Miami days or what they were, whatever. I'm there to talk about
It's
that.
probably the reason why you might keep one of the greatest defensive minds as a defensive coordinator for a long time.
Right, but what I'm saying
okay
is
with
that, Jesse, when it comes to Kevin O'Connell, that's a guy that I look at, that if he...
I wanted to run something by you guys real quick, and I know we're talking SummerSlam, but really quick.
Yeah?
Even though I don't think they'll trade him,
Yeah.
what do you think of this as a trade? And I got Minnesota fans talking about this shit.
All right.
So Micah Parsons, Andrew Van Ginkel, just hear me out.
Yep.
The guy they got from Houston.
We got from Houston?
Yeah.
Oh, Grenard.
Thank you. A second and a future first.
I will give them 2 firsts, a third, a fourth, and I will maybe throw in Dallas Turner.
Yeah.
Well, here's why I don't put Dallas Turner in the trade.
Well, no. Did I say Dallas?
Yeah. Jonathan Grenard.
Jonathan.
Well,
yeah.
So here's why. Like I told some fans about it.
Because by the way, Dallas Turner getting better and Micah Parsons, good luck.
Well, think about those two. He gets to teach that kid as he's playing. Fuck.
Yep.
In that system, fuck. I wouldn't want the Jets to play the Vikings defense. Fuck that. So, like,
can you imagine the lineup being Jonathan Allen? No, seriously, a 5-man front of Jonathan Allen up the middle. Your corner guys are
Big Harrison too. Big Harrison up the middle.
Yeah. So Harrison up the middle. Your corners are Micah Parsons, because Minnesota's not stupid. We're not going to put him out in coverage. Just go get the quarterback. Right. Go eat. But no, seriously, the middle is Jonathan Allen. Or sorry, no, you're right.
Harrison.
Harrison Phillips in the middle. Your corners are Micah Parsons and Jonathan Allen, and then on the outside you got Dallas Turner and Andrew Van Ginkel. First of all, that one white boy might be the most dangerous guy there. First of all,
Yep.
But also, but funny story, Minnesota might be signing they are signing Christian Wilkins. But anyway,
and then the Hitman's floating around there.
Boy, here's the thing.
If he's
Before we go
one
back to
more
the
year.
match,
if he's half of what he was at 4 years, 110
Christian
million.
Wilkinson can stay out of trouble.
Yep.
Good luck. Listen, the Vikings season really does hinge on number 9.
Yeah.
But playing that defense, good luck.
But to be fair, Jesse, I don't get mad at those camp videos when he's playing that defense. I just need him to get the ball in the right place.
Hey, losing to that defense at camp means you're probably going to be pretty good against
somebody else.
I got a feeling they're going to be top 2 in a lot of categories.
And by the way, Jesse, what is the biggest thing in sports, even in wrestling, you want to get paid? Hey, JJ McCarthy, you want to get a really big contract? Listen to that coach of yours and make him fucking.
Also, I bet you have a day where you threw 3 picks against that defense. I bet you Brian will be like, here's where you fucked up. Let me show you where they got you.
But no, back to my point, Jesse. I think I look at Kevin as a guy who I think he needs a Triple H, though, to really, like you said, bring it around and sort of relate it to make it make sense. Because I bet you Raquel saw that and probably, and through no fault of her own, probably didn't understand what he meant. Also, sadly, because it is the cesspool that it is, I'm sure Twitter made her believe, oh, he's calling you fat, which, of course, Kevin wasn't doing. He told you to work big. That doesn't mean put on a fucking belly fat or something like that.
He's basically telling. He was in the. And by the way, I bet you the context was brought to her. He was saying, "Do what Nia's finally doing now. Work like a big guy would have worked back in the day.
Yeah,
like work big because like you're a naturally bigger person.
Yeah,
it'll come off so much.
But anyway,
better.
back to this match, Jesse, Leroy. Again, I know you haven't seen it yet, but no, when I watch this match, you know, it's really interesting to me when you watch two all-time icons, and I know people hate when this show says it, but we will bang that drum for her, and we would love to talk to her someday when WWE allows it. Alexa Bliss is in the conversation of the Four Horsewomen. It's not a goddamn question in our minds. She did it first. Vince believed in her first.
I am not an Alexa stan.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. But no, Jesse.
I'm getting there.
But no, Jesse, there is something to be said when all-timers are just having fun.
Right. And by the way, the best thing about this, for the first time in fucking forever, one of the best in the ring that there has been in a long time, the daughter of one of the greatest in the game.
Yeah.
Looks like she's finally having fun out
She looks like she's enjoying this shit.
Yeah.
And, you know, Jesse,
And I've always said, if Charlotte finally looks like she's having fun, I bet you the crowd can get into it, and that's what's
Do you
happening.
think, and I'm being serious right now, do you think that Tom Brady was really having, and I want to phrase this correctly, do you think he was having the most fun during the Patriots dynasty, or do you think Tampa was more fun?
Teddy Bruschi is full of shit as much as I respect him.
Yeah.
Well, winning's fun. I'm like, that was easy for you guys and Matt Light to go out and say. The fact that Tom Brady wanted to leave tells me you guys weren't having fun. Yes, it was enjoyable for a few months when you were champions.
Yeah.
But then you knew, like, oh, yeah, I got to go listen to this fucking dickhead again for the next 7 months.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I think Tom had more fun. Now Tom got lucky and got to win after the dynasty.
I think he had more fun in Tampa.
I think he had more fun in Tampa because at the end of the day,
Bruce Arians could be an asshole.
Yeah.
But not as bad as that other dude.
No. Because Jesse, when you're at the peak, everybody fucking wants to cut your fucking nuts off.
Right.
And Charlotte had to spend the first 12 years in WWE as the not self-appointed, but the office-appointed successor to whatever woman you want to talk about.
And to her own father.
Yep, exactly. And Jesse, I don't think it's fair because of how much money they make. Like you always said, like your father taught you that they're people. I don't think it's fair to pretend like Ashley had all these friends stick with her.
Right.
Now, that's not at the fault of those people. That's the fault of the pressure of the business.
Right.
Like, her and Becky are probably a lot better now than they were when they were both at the top.
Sure.
But, and again, they were both guilty of it. You know, we've already chronicled that. We're not going to get into that right now. But it's hard when there's only so many spots at the top. And now it's go have fun. Go do some enjoyable stuff. Alexa is not going to cut your nuts off because she's already past the point in her career where she wants world titles. She just wants to do some fun shit.
It feels like, and I think she said this, her time with Wyndham taught her.
You can enjoy this business?
You can enjoy this without having to worry about titles.
Because, Jesse, you always said, had they never given The Fiend the belt, it wouldn't have affected The Fiend.
No! But I had said, too, I remember after he beat Finn and a couple other guys, I went, Vince is going to fucking shoehorn this because of the money he's making off the merch, and that's exactly what happened. But yeah, Wyndham, I think, really taught her a lot about, like, re-loving pro wrestling.
Yeah. And you'll do that when you meet Wyndham. When you
rest his soul, man. Like,
when you met Wyndham, you fell back in love with this shit.
Next match,
Leeler.
Next matchup is Sami Zayn defeated Karrion Kross.
This match pissed me off, and
Kross had to admit he was wrong.
This match pissed me off not because of the guys involved, but because of the IWC. First of all, we've already chronicled that if given the opportunity, Kross wants to make it work here. He doesn't want to go anywhere else necessarily. If he has to for business, he's a grown-ass adult. He's going to fucking do it. But beyond that, Kross's entire thing since he's been to WWE has been the mentality that the WWE drones do not have. I don't have to win to get my point across. And also, yeah, Gene and I disagree with this. He's got sort of Triple H timing with punches, yada, yada. He's a stiff worker. He's not trying to go over the top. And I think that the work speaks for itself because he's also working, Jesse. Jesse, you and I, like, we've seen a band go out there and they play their style.
Right.
Okay? You're not going to put Amon Amarth on a stage and have them play what Falling in Reverse plays.
No.
Because Amon Amarth, they're fucking Viking metal.
That's what they did.
They don't do mosh pits, they do row pits. Love
right.
that. Love that visual, by the way. Just fucking 50 people on their ass just rowing, man. It's so fucking good. But no, Jesse, they are who they are. Cross is working as a dude who is not trying to out-wrestle Sammy. He's trying to slap Sammy into a reality that he's trying to create. It wasn't about putting on the best wrestling match. It was about taking Sammy off his game. So if you think that, oh, Cross can't, because this is kind of a quote from Gene. It's fine. Gene already said it. Even with a capable worker, Cross still couldn't work. He wasn't trying to work. He was trying to make Sammy uncomfortable. That was the whole point of the story.
People are forgetting. And this is why he's become so popular with, maybe we can call it the, the what do we usually call?
The drones?
No. The
casuals?
The casuals.
Yeah, okay.
The guy was a great storyteller.
Yeah.
They watch wrestling, including watching wrestling with their kids, guys like Leroy.
Yeah.
Because they can enjoy a good story with their families, their kids.
Do we forget there was 8 months of WWE TV? Forget the Roman Reigns bloodline stuff. The rest of the TV was all off the tree of carrying Cross.
Right.
Shinsuke lost his honor. AJ Styles was stripped of what he believed. He broke up the Alpha Academy.
Drew McIntyre lost his ability to bring back himself to reality.
Yeah.
Like everything Karrion said would happen.
Also, by the way,
including Seth, he said Seth will always go back to being what he was.
More foreshadowing. But no, Jesse, also, by the way, folks, let me be very clear. That moment when Shinsuke Nakamura took out John Cena and the company, that was John's fault. He took the move wrong, so I ain't blaming Shinsuke on that shit.
Said that, yeah, he took the move wrong.
So, yeah, no, we're not. But also, by the way, someday, I know we've already yelled about it 7 times. Someday we'll have to understand, Shinsuke's not 25. He's fucking above 35. He's not looking for a New Japan style run anymore.
Guy's making great money and gets to ride the waves.
That's all he gives a shit about.
There we go.
But anyway, yeah, no, guys, Karrion Kross, in my opinion, is now that we're past SummerSlam, is probably on someone's list to get re-signed.
I'm half and half if they already did it because yesterday they were promoting his book.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wouldn't think for a guy who's going to be leaving they would do that.
No, probably not. Because remember, Becky had that same situation.
Now, real quick about the loss.
Yeah. Doesn't hurt him.
No.
I get the Cross fans wanting him to win.
Yeah.
But I also have to remind them, he did destroy Sammy on Raw.
Right.
So technically they were split 1-1.
Yep.
And if you know much about the business, unfortunately sometimes we do know too much.
Yeah.
Sammy's probably going to win in Saudi Arabia for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
They're going to build the shit out of him.
Yep.
This is a feud he had to get
Because
past.
remember, Sami Zayn is a modern-day Dusty Rhodes. He's not going to get, A, 7 world titles, and B, he's not going to get year-long reigns. He's going to get shot to the top on a story that makes you cry when he gets there. And then guess what? To keep the babyface sympathy that Dusty had for the entirety of his fucking career, they're gonna quote unquote nut shot it away from him. Sami Zayn is gonna win the world title, and bad news for Sami fans, he's gonna lose it in the most heartbreaking fucking fashion. Because that's how you keep Sami Zayn as Sami Zayn.
Yep.
Dusty Rhodes would not have been Dusty Rhodes if he won as much as Ric Flair. Dusty Rhodes had to chase Ric Flair. That's why Dusty was the all-time babyface. But Dusty Rhodes winning the belt was a moment for the people. But now, the big, bad, truly bigger star who carries the load, it has to be Dusty. I mean, like, that's how the business works. So, yeah, no, bad news. Sammy's going to get this amazing run to the belt, and then they're going to cut his nuts out and take the belt off him in a very harsh way. That's just how the business works.
Unfortunately, yes.
I do love that there's this much passion behind Karrion Kross, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that guy has earned it.
Yeah.
So.
And by the way, super, just, I don't even want to use the phrase nice or humble, just a real dude.
Good guy.
Just a super dude.
He's a super awesome guy.
And speaking of dudes, we'd like to give our love and support and sympathy to a guy who did what was right for himself, and that's why, again, use our BetterHelp code if you need to do this, if you don't have access to the source material that he did and the resources. Credit to Pat McAfee for realizing he just couldn't do all the things he was doing. I was wondering when that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. We still love you.
And he gave Corey Graves a nice rub on the way out.
Oh, yeah.
He better not come back. I'm not trying to be mean to Pat.
Yeah, yeah.
Corey Graves knows his shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And Pat was great.
Yes.
When I start doing a 3-man table, keep Corey where the fuck he is.
Well, no. I was going to suggest work out a almost Legends deal with WWE in the sense of once in a while, when it's been a while and you're in a nice Midwestern town, do a 3-man booth and make Corey go crazy by having Pat come out randomly.
Let him do WrestleManias and shit.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Now, okay.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, I'm going to say something, and I need my boys here to back me up because this is going to piss a lot of people off. Make him a modern-day JR. Not the greatest living announcer, JR. But once in a while, for some big events, to add some pizzazz to it. Different kind of pizzazz, but to add to it. I'm not comparing Jim Ross to fucking Pat like that's not happening. Everybody calm down there. But like, no, make Pat got the run. Pat got to live the dream.
Speaking of guys getting rubs and deserving it.
Is it the next match?
Well, before it's not about a match.
Okay.
Big ups to Michael Cole. Because like he said, no disrespect to Pat. No disrespect to Corey.
Yeah.
My greatest partner of all time was Taz.
They were so good together.
People forget how great they were together.
Do people not
awesome.
do people not remember, Jesse, there wasn't a more fluid booth. It didn't exist.
By the way,
Taz and Mike,
because like he said, in a time where like nowadays I can break and I'm not going to get yelled at.
Yeah.
We would be getting our asses chewed, and during commercial, Taz would just be making faces at Vince yelling at us, but because Taz is so naturally fucking funny.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I told people, and you guys don't know how good they were on those SmackDown days, man. Oh my god!
And by the way, ups to Taz because I know they were kind of on the outs for a couple of years there, but obviously they've reconciled. Taz admitted, yeah,
one of my greatest partners, probably my greatest partner ever.
Those two, dude. At a point when Vince cared more about Raw than SmackDown and just let Paul have it, Paul Heyman's SmackDown isn't Paul Heyman's SmackDown without that booth.
Oh, yeah.
It's just not.
I got to tell people, when you go back and rewatch those, you're like, God, this is so much better than Raw.
And Vince knew it.
And Vince knew it. He only had it for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we had the WWE Women's Championship with Tiffany Stratton retaining against Jade Cargill.
I refuse to talk about Jade Cargill. Just can't cut it any longer.
I will say this: that's one of the worst fucking protections of a gal who was going to lose I've ever seen. So instead of, and actually, I'll give Stephen Larson credit for talking about it. The trope of sometimes, the person who came up and finally earned this opportunity, they just forgot maybe the person was too close to the rope, so they grabbed the ropes to kick out.
Yeah.
It is a bad trope. It always has been. But it's one, as a wrestling fan, you can always forgive.
Yeah.
So she overpinned her and put her foot on the second rope? That's how you protected Jade from this loss?
Yeah, I
hated that.
But until that moment, though, I want to say
I was loving this match.
Oh, yeah, no.
But
And by the way,
that
guys,
I was just like,
and then
well, why would you fucking overpull the leg?
but then credit on the other side, Jesse. Whoo, Tiffany. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, she's just phenomenal.
For those who don't know, Minnesota and Wisconsin are filled with fucking incredible athletes.
Yes, they are.
I'm going to say something controversial to people who maybe don't know a lot about the local scene. Of the and again, this is not a slight.
Corn is incredible.
Well, you know, guys, I don't think she's the best female wrestler to come out of this area currently. Tiffany, I don't think is the best. I think the best is still here.
She's in the top 5. Totally.
I mean, the best is the former DPW World Heavyweight Champion, but
well, yes,
that's who I was referring to. As number one.
Yes. That's the best.
Just because she, probably should have let Rampage know about things before.
So back to this match before he starts kissing Century's ass.
You know what? He fucked around and he found out. That's what I got to say about that.
Who's the current Heavy on Wrestling champion?
You know what? Rampage fucked up and found out.
They're going to really fuck up and find out when the other two show up.
Oh, that's true. That's true. All right.
Only one of the two showed up. The Wanderer showed up. He's got a partner. So,
Hey, if we can get you back in, you better do something with that security. I don't know how he got in the building.
I wasn't in charge. It was not my fault.
Well, clearly you
Sure. I'll talk to the
No, I
Wanderer.
was upstairs. They had me upstairs.
You give me my job back, Century. I'll attempt to protect you. It comes at a cost. Yeah.
We got a little while. November 30th.
No.
Yeah.
Now back to
Tiffany versus
this
Jade.
ending.
Yeah.
Hated that.
It was kind of a rough ending, yeah.
Hated that. I know they got more for Jade, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
Just like at the time I said about the Becky and Bianca thing,
yeah.
I understand there's a plan.
Yeah.
But boy, that's a shit start. Why would she just not realize she's about to take a manhandle slam by shaking her hand? Babyface or not.
Right, yeah.
You know? So, great stuff. But yeah, kind of bad ending.
But no. Back to my opening point, because I want you to respond to this. I don't want to hear anymore that Jade can't stand on her own or like can't work.
People keep saying that she can't work, and I don't get it at this point, because so we had Queen of the Ring where she was fucking great.
Yep.
The Naomi match, she was fucking great.
Yep.
I don't. What are we? Listen.
They think that she was getting treated better in the other place because she was 60-0.
Oh,
yeah.
Because she had to wait a fucking year and a half to lose a title because the other guy couldn't make a fucking plan for her? Yeah, that's being treated better.
I'm not the one saying it. You're the one saying it.
Next match.
You got more top potato on your lips, by the way.
It's delicious.
It's a lot, though.
We gotta love that. We're up here. We love it.
It's like
All right.
pussy.
Next up was a tag match with Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul getting the pin on Randy Orton and Jelly
Welcome to the gift to a promoter match. This is the match that, guess what? If you've got super high expectations, that's your fault. It was good.
I gotta give Jelly Roll credit.
No. It was good.
He might have a future as an actor.
Yeah.
That was pretty good at the end there. That was pretty good.
You know, honestly, I think this match got more booked than I was expecting.
Right.
But I think everybody involved made it work. And by the way, this is where TKO, despite sometimes overdoing it, is correct. How is having one of the biggest music stars in the world a bad thing?
It's not.
No,
Also, by the way, can I also point something out, people? Dude lost a lot of motherfucking weight to do this.
Good for him, by the way.
And by the way,
for
to Jim,
health-wise, yeah,
and by the way,
it's
to
great.
Jim Cornette, I'll disagree on this. Welcome to the era that fans actually want celebrities to take it seriously.
Because, by the way, big fucking credit to him. I was on this. He took that frog splash.
He took all that frog splash.
Like, the moment he tensed up, I went, oh, he ain't moving. He's actually going to take this. Because I don't think he meant to overshow that he was going to take it.
No.
But, like, he tensed up. I'm like, oh, he ain't moving.
Well, but Jesse, if you haven't worked before at that level, you expect those things to happen.
Right.
You expect, because like for me, when he finally got pinned and he got frog splashed, I understand you're worried about the family jewels, but you don't need to put the hands there because I mean you were sprawled out and then all of a sudden you were in like that's a nitpicky thing, but I'm not here to fault the guy
he's
for
a
it.
celebrity, so
Right?
I don't
Yeah.
that.
But no, it's just we are in an era where the fans are more receptive if the celebrities give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
More so than come in, look like, Snooki wasn't terrible, but wasn't at this level.
No.
But that was more so because you were working with Trish at the time.
Well, listen, this is why Logan Paul will always get credit. Bad Bunny deserves the praise every time he comes back.
Pat McAfee did a good job down in NXT.
Oh, yes, he did.
Because not only did Bad Bunny seem to perfect like how to be fluid in a ring, he perfected selling, which is huge for wrestlers.
Well, and it's also raised the bar, Jesse, to where if you're going to come into our world, we're not going to protect you as much anymore.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Jesse, this is the part that I think these fans need to get over. Jesse, he worked a full match.
Yes, he did.
He not only worked a full match, he worked a full... He's a better storyteller than half the AEW roster.
I knew you were going to give that a shot. I love you.
But am I wrong, though?
Not completely.
Yeah.
Which is actually unfair, so let me clarify. He did more in that situation than they're doing in AEW.
I will say this.
Because there's good storytellers in AEW.
Yes, there is.
For a celebrity match, a little bit of a car wreck, but a fun car wreck at that.
Yeah.
Not as great as the Jackass guys against Sammy at WrestleMania. That, you would have a fun car wreck match with a celebrity. That was fucking gold. But
Yes, it was.
you had that, and then guess what? The right people won.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it wouldn't have been believable for him and Randy to win. I give Triple H get the right
Also,
people win. It doesn't hurt.
Also, the last word on this match. Dear United States of America, we got to fucking figure out our goddamn travel policy situations because that was fucking egregious. We know who you are, but you don't have ID. The fuck do you think Drew McIntyre is going to do on an international flight? The fuck?
I think we had to get a private jet back there anyways.
Well, you still have to have your passport, so we had to find it. WWE did the private jet to get him
I
back
have
quicker.
to believe a part of the reason Triple H decided to do that press conference was so that he could fucking have that orange idiot agree to just allowing WWE to fly Drew back.
Probably.
Because, by the way, he lives in Florida.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So stupid.
But the orange idiot didn't even. There's like, yeah, we had trivia. He's right there, you dummy.
It's okay. All the blood left his brain, went to his ankles. Moving on.
He's
That's
not as
true.
buff as he used to be, but I have not been in rooms twice where Triple H is doing, like, fan stuff.
Yeah.
He's 6'5". I don't know how the fuck you miss him.
Right.
He's a big guy. Really big guy.
Yeah. Dementia.
God.
Dementia. That's all I gotta say.
He's
All
not
right.
gonna last. He's not gonna last 4 years.
All right. Next up was the main event of the night, where CM Punk did defeat Gunther by pinfall.
Aaron Bowles, founder of the PWL, has actually said, and I quote, because I can quote him on this, it's already in his top 5 SummerSlam main events of all time.
Wow.
He's already got
That's,
it in there.
according to
It'll be a
Wikipedia.
3-star match, according to Dave Meltzer. And according to Brian Alvarez, it was atrocious.
I saw that this morning,
It
and
was
I'm
a
like,
30-minute match.
just
according
tell
to
me you're a
Wikipedia.
shill,
Yeah.
so everybody else who thinks you're serious can move on.
Just admit that you're a parody of actual journalism when it comes to
Right.
There we
WWE
go.
stuff. Just please admit it. Because, Jesse, what else could you have done with this match?
Gunther should have whooped his 43-year-old ass for that long.
And then get outsmarted by a vet.
Gunther's 28 years old.
Yeah.
Nigga, none of us would last 5 minutes in a ring with Gunther.
No.
So, like, the fact
Yeah, 2 minutes, I think.
that Gunther basically whooped his ass for 25 minutes was a great storytelling beat. Now, it's also what's great about this and the way he lost again is you can go, well, once again, his fucking hubris cost him. He got over cocky again with an opponent,
Yep.
and he lost the title.
Also, because I watched this moment 3 separate times because Allison was trying to find the moment where he got juice. Jesse, if you don't do it in every fucking match and it's not done to both guys in all 6 matches, blood is still thicker than anything. Did you hear the pop when they saw him?
Did you hear the reaction?
Did you hear the reaction when he got juice? They were all... No, seriously, Lear, go watch the moment when he pops out from under the table where he cut himself. Or actually, knowing Gunther, he might have just, took his knuckle and just twisted it. But no, it's like they actually reacted and they stayed reacted to it. Like, Jesse, in AEW, when you get juice, there's the human reaction. But then they all come back down because it happens every fucking match.
Yeah.
But no, Leroy, you don't understand. When they went up, they stayed there.
Yeah.
They had him the rest of the... This night, the IWC calls mid, boring, everything. But I go back and I watch. Yeah, the fans seem to really give a shit. They seem to care.
It was... Well, because I read something else. It was right above on his bridge of his... when his forehead...
He might have broke his nose, too.
Yeah.
It is reported, that because he's going to has some nasal surgery soon.
But really quickly.
Well, that's the equivalent of Selena Vega screwed up on the 619, broke Chelsea Green's nose, and the first thing Chelsea Green said is, it's been broken 6 times.
Yeah. So Gunther's going to get something. But that was not the end.
The blood was used as part of the story.
Right.
It is.
Now he can't see.
Right.
If you can't see, your ass is in trouble against that dude.
But remember, Punk wasn't flipping, and he wasn't having Gunther flip. Jesse, a 43-year-old was kicking his fucking legs because you know what? It's a fucking vet against a giant.
Right.
Yes.
Jesse, this is a moment where regardless of how you feel, folks, you want it because again, Dave's going to give it 3. He's going to give it a 3 because he's not going to fucking say, well, A, it wasn't in Japan, and B, it doesn't have Kenny, Nick, Matt, whatever. We all know the tropes that Dave will give. But how it's not a 5-star when it fit every fucking category that it needed to, I don't understand. Because, Jesse, what should the story of CM Punk, and this is a serious question for you and Leroy, both of you guys, great historians on wrestling. What in a fucking realistic context should the story of Gunther versus CM Punk have been in 2025?
Gunther fucks him up.
And that's it.
But loses because of hubris. That's exactly what this was.
Jesse,
this is not
the
the first
Patriots won, but I would argue the Jets were more talented at least 5 of the 20 years.
Oh, yeah. No. That's just a fact.
But you were never as prepared as they were.
Correct.
You didn't have... Because one thing about that jackass they had to listen to for 7 months, Teddy Brisky, Jesse, one thing he didn't do was not have every single stone overturned 3 times. They knew... Jesse, they won a Super Bowl because they saw a formation and they took a 6th round or undrafted corner and said, go stand 2. This was Little Big League if I ever saw it, because there was the one scene where he told Lou, come on over, take 2 steps. Lou's like, okay, fine, whatever. And he's like, take 1 more step. Lou's like, fine, whatever. And all of a sudden you hear the crack of the bat, ball ends up right in the fucking glove. Lou doesn't even have to fucking sit up. But that's what the Patriots were.
Yeah.
They knew what Seattle was going to do, even though we all knew they should have handed the ball off.
Right.
But they knew what they were going to do.
No, it was just he's a brilliant coach. There's no doubt about it. But it's a great story, but it makes sense.
Right. And also Punk, by the way, the ending, which was so brilliantly booked, because the AEW version is, I'm going to hit you with my finisher. Now I'm going to hit you with something else. Now I'm going to fucking hit you with a weird-ass fucking clothesline to now, and then that's the end. Jesse, you fucking hit him with the GTS, but he's a giant, so he's not down yet.
First time he does not go down.
He doesn't go down. But it's the Stephen Amell principle. When he had the, let it breathe. Punk, you're tired, you're beat, you need to recover, you don't know what's going on. Is he going to fall? Is he not going to fall? Just let it breathe for fucking 5 seconds. The crowd can register what's happening, and then lift him up again, deliver the GTS, 1, 2, 3, and the crowd pops where they're supposed to.
Right.
Yep.
Because again, regardless of how I feel about Hangman, regardless of how I feel about this person, you cannot tell me the finishes are booked properly.
No,
what bothers me is you got Will fucking Ospreay, who's now hurt because of this bullshit, who does this fucking front flip out of fucking nowhere, and it's one of the most goddamn godforsaken things you'll ever see in the goddamn ring. And he does these amazing moves, these fucking aerial assassin things that, yes, he should be the guy who captures the moves in fucking Assassin's Creed. Because look at this shit. Yeah. And he wins with a shitty fucking elbow. I'm sorry, but Jesse, the way he builds it, Jesse.
But it's to the back of the head.
But Jesse, the Rainmaker doesn't mean as much in AEW because when it got to Japan, Jesse, when the Rainmaker came out, Okada made you believe in the Rainmaker.
Well, because he also hit that shit a couple times before pinning guys in main event matches to make sure they were dead.
Right, but Jesse, in that culture, sports based. Yeah. That's what like you kill them.
Like it's. Either they're dead or you have failed.
Right.
Like that's how it is.
In the American style, you do a couple false finishes, even though everyone knows, well, that clothesline's not going to beat a guy. Right. But that's how you build American style. In Japan, if you did all those false finishes, the Japanese crowd's like, he's not going to be beat by that. Right. What the fuck you mean? Right. It would make a guy look so weak to all of a sudden get pinned. Like Okada knows that. But he also doesn't give a fuck, so that's why he does it in an AEW ring. But no, that's how you end a match. The Rainmaker means nothing in AEW compared to what it meant in New Japan. And half of what the thing that pisses me off is Hangman fucking does the buckshot, then he fucking rolls the guy up. I'm like, what the fuck is this? That happened, by the way.
I know.
That's happened in main event matches.
Like that move should be it.
And by the way,
I've always said about the move. It's a believable finish.
Oh, absolutely.
If he lunges himself, it's almost like the clothesline from hell.
If
a guy's coming with that much force and speed, it should be over.
When Logan Paul hits the buckshot, Jesse, it's kind of at a point in the match where you believe that could be the ending.
Right.
Now, Logan moves on to other things because we got to make you hate this guy a little more. Not that it's hard, though. But, like...
Not at all.
Jesse, you GTS the guy. He's standing there. He's got a face full of blood. Eyes are rolled in the back of his head.
What I loved about that part was like CM Punk looking and being like, "Fuck, I have to do this again."
Yeah,
this tower will not fall unless I hit him again.
Yep. And guess what?
And by the way, what made it even more brilliant, and I think the pop more brilliant, he had tried the GTS 6 other times and could not hit it.
Yep.
And so, like, because of that. Now when it gets hit and you go home with it, it feels more proper.
Now, one thing Jim is never wrong about in his reviews, regardless of his personal feelings, how he feels about training, this, that, he's not wrong when he tells you, if you don't watch like we do and you just listen, he'll tell you about this magical sequence, and you're like, okay, match will be over. And Jim goes, but that wasn't the finish. And then they went 5 extra minutes. It kills the crowd.
Yeah.
And CM Punk, regardless of what anyone feels about Phillip Brooks, he got the win at the most up moment he could. And Leroy, where did we go up from here?
Let's talk about it. He doesn't have to say it. I'll say it. Let's talk about how, and I want somebody to clip this. Let's talk about how no one should ever cheer for Becky Lynch or Seth Rollins ever again. 3 weeks ago,
a beautiful video.
These motherfuckers take the video where he could not play with his daughter. He had to hobble around. And you fuckers got me to buy it. Because I went, man, if he can't play with his daughter,
and by the
I
way,
hope he gets healthy.
And by the way, as somebody who has worked and trained in the medical field, you go on an interview and you say, hey, there's a little too much swelling. We're going to have to do photos a different day. That's a believable fucking thing.
And so I'm sitting there, because I'm sitting watching that video. I'm like, okay, well, he wouldn't lie. Like, clearly, like, he can't play with his daughter right now. He's something they love to do. Right? Fucking wrong. So his music hits. And I'm
when
not gonna
CM
lie.
Punk was trying to celebrate.
Here's the thing. I actually expected him to come stand on the stage. I did.
Yes.
Because I thought Triple H will still make sure everyone knows, hey, this is probably still going to happen at some point. Right? And so at first, I'm like, okay, well, if he turns and Paul turns around, then that's the end of the show.
Yep.
It was the moment Paul did not turn around with him that
and
I went.
And he still had that smirk on his face.
And I went, no! And when he threw the clutches, I'm like, no! And then he unbuckled his jacket. And my neighbor will tell you, I shouted, this motherfucker! This motherfucker! They used their kid! Oh! Oh!
Kayfabe still works if you're willing to commit.
This was brilliant. This was brilliant.
I would do that with my kids.
Okay, here's the usually I'm the guy who usually is told, hey, you were right again. Hey, Dave, you got one. Good for you, buddy. Do you feel good about it? Do you because he was like, people owe me a do you feel good that you got it right? Oh my God, you got one right. Good
hey
for
Dave,
you, buddy.
Hey Dave, random question because
here's a cookie.
Well, not only that, but Dave, Jesse likes to expose bullshit, so I'm gonna do it myself. Quick question: if AEW had done this angle, would you have even put out a report that you're hearing that it's not real?
Doubt it.
Oh, so you're a hypocrite. Yeah, okay,
Absolutely.
gotcha. So yeah, to Brian Alvarez, Brian, we thought you were fucking coming around and you were going to be the voice of reason.
Nope, you're a shill.
Clearly you're a fucking mark and a shill for this bullshit. Clearly AEW's got you on the payroll. And hey, congrats to you in getting your money, bro, but hey, I guess your integrity as a journalist don't mean shit to you.
How that ending was atrocious.
No, the match. He said the match between Punk and seriously, I may have to find a way to use my connections because I ain't paying for that shit to get to Wrestling Observer Radio and hear why Brian doesn't agree with it. Because
somebody put the whole clip up on Twitter so you can go.
Perfect. We'll go find that because I'm just like, you motherfuckers can't even be happy when they do something right, and they do it with guys that you know what everyone agrees, dude. If he goes to AEW and he's Walter, he's the best heel in the world. He would have made it in any territory at any point. One thing I agree about this, I think Jim Cornette's right. Walter is a heel in any territory at any point in time. I don't agree that Hangman is a top babyface in any territory at any time because I don't think some territories would agree with the way Hangman does his business. I'm not here to judge. But let me be very clear. That match from start to finish was booked like Awesome Kong and Gail Kim, and those are 5-star classics if I ever saw them. When women weren't taken seriously, those two women had Hall of Fame Jesse, they're working with TNA. Put those matches in the Hall of Fame next year. All fucking 3 to 5 of them. Because they're fucking they're fucking brilliant.
So number one, the match itself was absolutely brilliant. You had the 5 minutes Punk celebrating. Seth's music hits. And, everyone in the crowd at first is just like, okay, this was kind of expected. He's going to walk on the stage.
They weren't really shocked.
Him coming out wasn't the shock. When he did this shit.
When the crutches fell.
When he threw the crutches.
Oh, yeah.
And started to undo the knee stuff. It was like, these motherfuckers got us.
They got us.
They got us. What pissed me off and why I made the jokes I've made so far is they released the Becky footage this morning of her going, oh, you thought she couldn't play with her daddy? Fuck you, ma'am. I hope Lyra Valkyria not only beats you but makes you step on Legos. How dare you? How dare you make me get emotional, ma'am? And then you use your child to do it, who clearly will be a brilliant actress in her future. Ah, you sons of bitches. Oh, because that's actually what got a lot of people was the video of him and his daughter.
Yep.
And you're like, all right, no, he's actually hurt. There's no fucking way.
Yep.
Apparently not as hurt as we all thought.
Man, if you can get the people involved to just be silent, put out some tweets that we wish him the best, and you make everyone work from the training staff to the medical staff to everyone, and you just hold your tongue for a fucking couple of weeks, kayfabe still works just fine.
It does.
Oh, to the because I love him too, but to the LA Knight stands, this does not hurt what he did at Saturday Night Main Event. As a matter of fact, it makes him probably the first contender to the title.
People telling me, people telling me, oh, LA Knight, Triple H, you keep doing this, he's going to leave. And I'm like, this motherfucker knows what's going to happen to him.
I know he liked the one comment, but I'm like, well, of course he's going to like a comment that's promoting him positively. As a wrestler, you should.
Right. But Jesse, this guy is featured all the time, everywhere. He's a top merch guy. Triple H hasn't sat him down and explained the exact time and place that it's going to fucking happen.
Right.
Triple H hasn't said you will be a world champion finally. You will get what you earned 20 years in this business. Come on, people.
Yeah.
You're Jesse, this is the part I always love to say. You're working yourself, people.
Mm-hmm.
You're working yourself.
Why are the Hardys at SummerSlam?
Why wouldn't the Hardys be at SummerSlam?
They're not at SummerSlam, are they?
The Hardys are at SummerSlam.
What the fuck?
They have them sitting in the crowd right now.
Oh, they're sitting in the crowd.
Well,
because the TLC match is coming up. They already had the first match already since
It's a
we're
big
recording.
it's a big
Oh my God! Are they gonna have them fight the Wyatts?
No. There's a TLC.
Are they gonna hop the rail and fight the Wyatt family? That's gonna be funny as
Triple
shit.
H, please.
Oh my
Please.
Well,
This is something Matt really wants to do too. Before he retires.
There's a 6-pack already going for the tag team titles right now.
That's gonna be chaos. We gotta get out of here soon, folks, because that's gonna be
That show starts soon here.
Yeah.
So let's get to the card.
The show already has started.
No, I know.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Oh, then let's preview night 2 and get the fuck out of here, guys.
The first match is already done. I don't know if you want to say that right now. Who won, or are we gonna wait till next week?
We'll wait till next week.
We'll wait till next week. All right, no problem. All right, first match of the night is Naomi the champion, triple threat against Rhea and Io.
Well, so hold our comments for next week since it already happened. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have, and this is not in
on here too.
and this is not in the order that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria for the Intercontinental. If Lyra wins, she can't challenge as long as Becky has a championship.
Because of stipulations, that'll be Lyra next match.
All right.
I actually don't know.
Yeah. Next match.
I hope Lyra.
Well, Jesse wants Lyra only because Becky.
Well, I want
worked
Lyra to win now
because Becky worked you.
because of somebody working me using their daughter. Who's very beautiful, by the way.
I think Lyra will get it. All right, then we got a cage match for the U.S. title between Solo and Jacob Fatu.
Solo.
Yep, I agree with that.
I'm not so sure. Did you see what happened with Zilla?
I did, but I've got Solo.
I think Solo too. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Jacob.
Okay.
Yeah,
Zilla didn't not only just lose a championship, but may not get a rematch for no reason.
No, he's getting a rematch.
He's getting a rematch.
It's already posted.
It's already been posted.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe he's not. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he is getting a rematch. Yeah, he's getting a rematch.
Oh, I think Amazing Red would let him work WWE and House of Glory.
It's not Amazing Red. I would be worried about. It's TKO.
That's fair.
No, it's already posted on Twitter about his rematch. All right, next up is, well, soon maybe double belt Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles.
Dominic right now is the most interesting character in all of wrestling.
Man.
And by the way, to those people who are like, well, they got rid of R-Truth, now AJ Styles is enjoying the fuck out of himself. Move on with your fucking lives.
Before he showed up to AAA a couple weeks ago to do that spot, I was all over AJ in this match.
I know.
But
Dominic
now?
No, I'm not so sure.
But Jesse, I know we're trying to get out of here. People need to stop this narrative that, they're pigeonholing AJ into this comedy thing and he needs to go to AEW for a year. This is his last wrestling contract.
Because the whole build has been Dominic won't fight him because he's quote-unquote injured.
Yeah.
This whole build has been fucking brilliant.
Also, by the way, what
awesome.
pisses me off, you people once again proving you never watched TNA. AJ was a dick in TNA once in a while.
He really was.
AJ fucked around a few times.
Unfortunately, he was a funny dick.
Yeah, exactly.
But they did state, too, that the next AAA pay-per-view that Dominic's going to be on is going to be on YouTube,
He
too.
will probably be the mega champion, which is going to be crazy.
And people will look at me and say, they're taking over. I'm like, first of all, the name Mysterio is fucking beloved
But
in
number
Mexico.
2, did you not hear that fucking pop? He's a heel.
Oh, yeah.
They love him in
They
Mexico.
love him.
They love him in Mexico.
What, is that in September, right?
Yes.
It's
Okay.
coming up.
No, August 16th.
Oh, yeah.
Triple
oh, yeah.
Mania.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be. They announced during SummerSlam. I saw
Fuck,
that
I'm playing my show.
it is going to be on YouTube.
It'll be on YouTube, though.
Yep.
So you
It
guys
is
should
going to
watch
be on
it.
YouTube, so we can watch
Yeah.
on YouTube like before, and I loved it. It was great.
Next up.
All right, it's the 6-pack TLC match for the tag team championship.
I don't care. It's going to be chaos. I'm going to love it.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be
probably
so much
gonna go
fun.
40 minutes.
Hurry up, Leroy. Let's go.
It'll be the Wyatts.
And last, all right,
Jesse would have. Jesse was never going to pick anyone
Then
different.
it's street fight for the WWE Championship. Cena with a heel babyface turn now on Friday. I don't know.
They have acknowledged it was a bad idea. They haven't publicly told Dwayne to go fuck himself.
I'm not completely sold Dwayne won't be here tonight.
Really?
You never know.
Because he literally just posted on Instagram 2 days ago, oh, my calendar's technically free for Sunday. So he literally might be
He also
here
didn't
tonight.
tell us about the Hawaii thing until after WrestleMania, so fuck Dwayne.
Sure.
So, no. In my personal opinion, I think that they are publicly, because they've already said it about Travis, they have publicly said Dwayne fucked up, but we're not going to say the exact words because he's on the board, and the Cena thing was a bad idea.
Next week, we're going to go into... Unreal more because we got to get into that story. That's just wild.
I got to finish watching the whole thing Unreal.
Thank you all so very much. We will see you guys all next week. We thank you guys for putting up with the fact that we couldn't do it this next week. We don't have any real plans to not be here for at least the next 3-4 weeks together. Thank you all so very much and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Bye-bye.